made wine that tastes like Junior's tears and sweat?
Jesus Christ.
Yes, it's called
Stag.
Okay. Bad genetics.
I wish Junior was here, so I had to try out this stuff called the Stag. It says it's a Cabernet Sauvignon. I'm not sure. The Stag.
Sauvignon.
The Stag is a symbol of power and elegance.
Okay, first and foremost, the fact that you got a freaking like bottle of Sauvignon and you're not a freaking like dry wine drinker in the first place.
No.
You're an idiot.
Well, look at that label though.
But you could have texted me first and been like, "Hey Sue, what kind of wine is this?" And I would have told you flat out, "Don't drink it. You're not going to like it."
We don't have video, but the fucking face that Al just made, it's like, I can't really describe that.
Chris,
I can't call it up.
When your taste is on the sweeter side, you go for like white Zinfandel, freaking Moscato, more of like a rosé, something that's more like a dessert wine sometimes.
Do you want to try this?
No, I do not. You know why? Because I already know I'm not gonna like it.
Hey, but it's called the Stag. I had to give him a taste. So yeah, but it says.
Do you feel like Robert Baratheon now?
I feel like something right now. Fuck. Yeah, but it says the stuff of myth and legend received the world over. He personifies strength and grace. That's the Stag. This opulent yet refined Cabernet celebrates this noble creature, reflective of its coastal Paso Robles origins. This wine is generous and dark berry, spice, and a hint of oak, which support velvety tannins and a lengthy finish. In the tradition of Saint Hubert, our patron saint, this wine is worthy of the hunt.
Yeah, I swear to God. I don't want to call it a horrible tasting wine because I'm just not accustomed to it. But this definitely tastes like the Stag dipped his balls in some hot water and they just bottled it up. Like this is not my cup of tea. This is definitely an acquired taste. This is something that professional wine drinkers drink.
I had to follow by because I'm going by the label. Like, look, the label says the Thirsty Owl. It's the Thirsty Owl from the Finger Lakes.
My God. That just sounds terrible.
Okay, so it says the Thirsty Owl from... No, Owl.
Owl. Yeah, it is. It's a Thirsty Owl.
I said owl. So...
The Thirsty Owl?
Yeah.
Fuck it.
I'm only thirsty for you, Sue.
Fuck off, Owl.
Babies.
So, it's the Thirsty Owl from the Finger Lakes.
It says... You have to read this.
What level of sweetness to dryness is there on the bottle?
I don't know. Let's see. It just says, Diamond. Alcohol 11% by volume. That's all it says on it. Let me read the back here.
How does it taste?
I'll let you try it. It tastes like an owl dipped his balls in here. It says, like, years ago, a gentleman
Fuck that.
was stumbling home after a night of faster horses, younger women, and older wine. Suddenly, a 4'6" owl landed in his path. The owl said, "I have a deal for you. If you share your fine wine with me, I won't interfere with your faster horses or younger women. In fact, I am so thirsty, I will also protect your vineyards from birds and critters." The gentleman agreed. To this day, the owl can be seen proudly guarding the vineyards with savoring the best wines in New York. Yeah, right. Lying ass owl.
Owl can be seen dipping his balls in a vat of hot water and selling it as a fucking wine.
Yeah, you gotta be fuck the thirsty owl. It's more like the dying man of thirst. Fuck. Oh.
Well, drunk person, if you're stumbling, obviously we can't take your word that the drink is good.
Well, the thirsty owl is better than the stag. So it's just like, what do you want? Like owl nuts or stag nuts?
I mean, if you're thirsty enough, you'll pretty much drink anything.
Oh, Christ.
I need a cup to pour some in.
There's an extra one by Sue, I think.
Nope.
Unless
you want the cup that we put the detergent in.
No, there's a fourth glass, though. I got two here, there's one more.
You left it on the washer.
Oh, Christ.
Ugh, I'm too fat for this shit.
And peeling.
Jesus.
Very much so.
Yes.
I gotta tell you, Sue, I am a fan of that shirt. Major fan.
only fans of that shirt.
God.
Cookies would go great with that shirt.
Bow.
Fuck you too, Elliot.
Hey, I'm mixing two things people love. Foodies would die to watch a woman eat food and cleavage. I'm fucking genius.
Yeah,
The owl.
the thirsty owl is better than the stag.
Yeah, which that's not saying a lot, though.
The looks of disappointment, if only people could see.
Christ. Anyway.
I understand what they mean by dry wine, though.
Yeah. So, oh
Yeah.
boy. Yeah. So this has been kind of a popular topic. I've just been reading so many articles about it, but, well, the thing with Ellen is, we talked about this, I think, a few weeks back, and even Jem was saying that,
God.
you know, her whole brand was being this wonderful woman and nice person and just sweetheart and angelic, you know, character that she is. Well, apparently, now her show is under investigation, and now that her show is under investigation, she's talking about, like, you know, hanging up and just retiring from the show.
You know why, right?
So,
Who?
Ellen.
Ellen?
Her show's been on for 17 years, but the hit talk show, I'm just reading this off The Guardian, but it's just not just, I mean, there's been several places I've read this, I'm just picking one article. But her show is under investigation for toxic workplace and sexual misconduct and racism behind the scenes. So,
There's even more from, I think, one of her producers
yeah.
who is trying to get males to give them blowjobs and hand jobs
express.
and
Well,
stuff.
that's
Yeah.
part. Well, it's probably part of the whole sexual misconduct and shit. But,
Well, yeah, but I'm keeping up with it because I'm bored and I just keep
Yeah.
laughing. Like, oh yeah, America's sweetheart. Yeah, let's wait until the dirt comes out.
her memo that she released was saying that she intends to correct issues raised about behind the scenes sexual harassment and racist behavior at her daytime show, quoting that she had not been able to stay on top of everything and relied on others to do their jobs as they knew I'd want them done, but of course they didn't. So, but then other actors and producers and people were saying that she knew about everything going on. She did nothing about that. So now that her show's been on for 17 years, she's talking about possibly just not coming back for the show. So
Won't be missed.
So Ellen DeGeneres is hanging it up.
she's considering it, but you know, because this is going to affect. Well, but now that they have their federal prosecutors come in, they're going to be investigating everybody who works on the show currently and who worked on the show in the past. They're going to go through every piece of the fucking staff, like from the hairdressers, everybody who worked was a part of it, and they want to ask them, hey, what was your experience working for? So,
That's
yeah,
going to be interesting findings.
Oh yes.
What there's a topic that I want to talk about. Not talk about it for long, just bring it up. On September 12th, 2020, there is going to be a fucking bout between Mike Tyson
oh yeah,
and Roy Jones Jr.
I heard, yeah,
Now, I don't know if anybody's paying attention to Mike Tyson's workout regimen as of late, but your man still looks like a monster. Roy Jones Jr. still looks like he's in good shape, still moving,
Yeah.
still kicking. This is something I am definitely looking forward to. Whatever pay-per-view is asking, I am definitely paying.
I'm not gonna
And
lie.
I'm trying to get a group of people together to come watch
Oh,
this.
I'll be there.
I am taking bets. I am illegally gambling on this. Because I want to, like, no matter if you're a fan of boxing, you follow these two guys' career, you honestly understand that. This is not something that you could just call right off the rip. Like, you
Yeah.
can't just be like, oh, Roy's got it or Mike's got it. Like, you just can't. Like, you have to actually watch it to see what the hell happens. Like,
Yeah, remember because that video came out a month ago after he was talking on Joe Rogan's show about the future and retiring from boxing. Then that video came out where he showed Tyson with the fucking bags there and throwing the jabs, and everyone's like, "Damn, Tyson, man, still fucking
still
got it."
got
And,
it. Like, I'm pretty sure Tyson at his age could still whip my ass thoroughly,
oh yeah.
even with me putting up as best a fight as I could put up. Like,
And that was part of, like, even a month ago before this was even officially announced, when people asked Joe about that, like, you know, how do you feel about, you know, after sitting with Tyson, talk with him, your opinion about boxing? Joe he made the prime example, was like, you know, have to remember, a 53-year-old man in 2020 is not the same thing as a 53-year-old man in 1980.
facts.
And that's simple, and that's just like, that's part of genetics is a factor, but also dietary supplements. The biggest thing is supplements, because, you know, back in the day with steroids was the biggest factor. Now they're not just doing steroids, but you got shit like HGH is still controversial, but even without that, just, you know, creatines weren't the big of a factor in the 80s, even the fucking 90s.
Yeah,
And
there's
Mike
all
Tyson,
kinds of-
53.
oh, like for him, this shit is a mental game. Like he is going to step into the ring and bring it, and I'm ready for that.
That was definitely the fall of Tyson. Even come on, I was a fucking kid in the '90s, and there wasn't his name. He's one of the things where even if you didn't watch basketball, you knew Michael Jordan. If you didn't watch boxing, you fucking knew who Mike Tyson was. It's just how it was. And but yeah, like everyone said, like growing up, I didn't watch because pay-per-view. You know, back in the day, pay-per-view was like $50 to fucking watch a Tyson fight, and you're like, we're all poor. We couldn't afford that shit. We had to get like you'd have to watch news, like read a newspaper the day after, or watch ESPN because none of us could fucking afford it. I mean, $50 is a lot of money back in the fucking early '90s for people. But yeah, the thing with Tyson is like, growing up as a kid, you're like, this man seemed like he was fucking invincible. And it's like, how did Tyson slowly decline? And everyone said, Don King was the biggest problem. But
Don King was the problem, but I'm not even going to get into all that because I don't know the entire details. I just know what I've seen in tabloids.
Yeah.
So without doing the research, I'm not going to speak on it. But I will say that it's obvious that Don King had an impact on his career.
Didn't help that he bit off what's his face's ear.
Yeah, but you got understand that when you're a boxer and you just in the ring one day bite a chunk out of somebody's ear, there are underlying things. There are things that led up to that. There are things that affected you, and it could have been in the fight he was just getting frustrated. But I promise you, there are outlying things that were going on in his life that was also affecting him in that ring that night. He was just.
But that was the point I was making is like, he can watch any boxing movie, whether it's Rocky or Creed or just anyone's Muhammad Ali. Like the thing is, your promoter is an issue, or like I said with Don King, it could be your trainers. Is but everyone said the problem with Tyson was just his head wasn't in the game anymore. That's all it was. It just his life was fucked up, and how young he was. I mean, he set boxing records, and being that young of a kid, 18 years old, like he was the number one boxer on the planet, not even America. I mean, globally, Mike Tyson is a global fucking name. Even in 2020, you still know that name because
even as so far as like one of the most popular video games of all time had a character based on him, and they had to swap it around because of copyright. Because M. Bison was originally supposed to be Balrog's name, but Balrog was so close to who Mike Tyson was, they figured if we did this, we're going to end up in a lawsuit. So they ended up changing his name to Balrog, who was supposed to be the boss, and M. Bison became M. Bison because he looked nothing like Tyson, so he didn't want to tie it
even like Tyson's Punch-Out, but now they changed it to a switch for a Super Punch-Out. But like, it was Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, and to this day, it's just one of them jokes that goes around the internet that anyone's a video gamer. I never knew a single person, not one friend, nobody ever beat Tyson in that fucking video game. To this day,
I've seen people, if you look on YouTube right now, there are people right now that beat him, like with no problems. Like, I've beaten him several times, but I had the assist of the Game Genie. So I was, unstoppable. Yeah. I obviously cheated the game, but
yeah, but I mean, everyone knows this. Fighting and boxing and UFC, all of it. It's more of a mental game. And
I am 100% looking forward to that fight. I'm chomping at the bits to sit down and watch that.
I'll definitely check it out because it's not going to be and like anything. It's the internet. Every asshole who's got a phone, who's got fucking Twitter. You can run your mouth about Tyson because you're on your phone. I guarantee you, this shit you wouldn't say it to the man's face. And again, I want to see you at 50
He's
fucking.
Still gonna end up winning the stupid fight. That's.
Yeah.
Like, end of the day, like.
But there's people who talk shit about, like, what Tyson do. He's washed up. He's too old. He's 53. And I'm like, have you seen the videos? That's not, again, dude, I guarantee you at 35, you're not throwing punches like Tyson is 53. Like, go ahead.
And I'm going to be honest with you. I just can't see just any 20-year-old beating Tyson right now. Not unless you're a 20-year-old that's like 350 pounds of rock hard muscle who's been fucking weightlifting since you were 15 and you fucking been boxing on the side since you were fucking 17. Like, that's the only way you stand a chance. Like, I can't see your average 20-year-old boxer. Because at 20 years old, you're just not stacked like the way Tyson is stacked. Like, you're just not.
That's a scary individual. But, so. Oh, yeah. Carlton told me this actually last night. I had to look it up because it's 2020. And why not? So, but, yeah, I didn't hear. So Carlton told me, Elliot, and Junior on Xbox, but apparently there is zombie cicadas infected with mind-controlling fungus returned to West Virginia. So, okay.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
Humans aren't the only ones susceptible to the psychedelic chemicals found in magic mushrooms. Zombie cicadas, under the influence of a parasitic fungus, have re-emerged in West Virginia to infect their friends, and now scientists have a better understanding of how it happens. Wow. So,
2020 in collaboration with Mother Nature. I'm going to need you both to knock it the fuck off. Slow it down a
There's a
little bit.
restraining order, Mother Nature.
Slowly roll.
Let us catch our breath.
it's saying the fungus manipulates the insects to unknowingly infect other cicadas, rapidly transmitting the disease to create a zombie army of sorts. When a male cicada is infected with Massapora, researchers found it flicks its wings like a female, a known mating call. This behavior attracts healthy male cicadas, facilitating the spread of the fungus, which contains chemicals including, I can't say this shit, but basically found in hallucinogenic mushrooms.
So essentially, the male cicadas
sorry.
become transgender and attract straight male cicadas. And attract straight male cicadas and pass on the fungus. Sexually transmitted fungus?
Yeah, I recognize the word. It's psilocybin. So psilocybin, which is in fucking mushrooms. So just how the disease manipulates its host and spreads is just the most recent discovery following decades of research on Massapora. Wow. So the findings show that the parasitic functions in part as a sexually transmitted infection. So essentially, the cicadas are luring others into becoming infected because their healthy counterparts are interested in mating. The bioactive compounds may manipulate the insect to stay awake and continue to transmit the pathogen for longer.
Oh god, that just sounds terrible.
It sounds horrible.
Fucking hilarious, but bad at the same time.
Sounds like a nightmare way to go.
This male cicada will get other males by acting like a woman and then give it a sexually transmitted something or other.
Basically, yeah.
So, is this like a college for humans or something?
Let's see. Researchers describe the gruesome details of the fungus process as a disturbing display of B horror movie proportions. The spores eat away at the genitalia, the butts and abdomens of the cicada until they eventually fall off, replacing them with fungal spores. A brutal process for the insects, which just spent more than a decade underground. Then the cicadas begin to decay, but then rather than die immediately, they fly around to infect others. Because of the infection's mind-controlling abilities, the insects appear to behave as if nothing's wrong. Wow. They describe the process as wearing a way like an eraser on a pencil. The fungi are similar to rabies, both enlist living insects to do their bidding. Wow. And then which a form of biological puppetry. Since we are also animals like insects, we like to think we have complete control over our decisions, and we take our free will for granted. But when these pathogens infect the cicadas, it's very clear that the pathogen is pulling the behavioral levers of the cicada. Jesus Christ. So, yeah. Goddamn. Poor cicadas.
Haven't they suffered enough?
Butts falling off.
And their genitals.
Genitalia falling off and replaced with fucking fungus that you're going to use to entice another straight fucking cicada into... Oh, God.
Hey, look at my wing flapping. That means I'm a woman. Come over here, big boy. Zombie.
Then he bites him?
Yeah.
That's the worst way to go.
What did Danny Bonaducci style when he found out that prostitute was a guy?
Oh, fucking A.
You can't make this shit up in 2020.
2020 is the most unsurprisable year ever. Like, anything could happen. You'd be like, sounds about right for 2020.
Blood monkeys.
Black
plague squirrels.
I just have one
Knife-wielding
question.
baboons.
Knife-wielding baboons. That's the best.
Where the fuck is Man Bear Pig?
He's on his way.
You know what's funny? So I seen yesterday, let you bring up Supernatural. Someone posted a picture of like Sam and Dean. It's like, did you notice that the
year they decide to retire is the year the world is going to like end.
We need more Sam and Dean. God damn it. Yeah.
You seen those videos online with everybody reporting glitches in the Matrix?
No.
There's a whole bunch of
shit.
videos on YouTube. So one girl posted this really cool video. It's like a bird perched on something that is obviously... She was like, I think I just caught a glitch in the Matrix. She's recording this bird. Bird's sitting down, but whatever he's sitting on, you can't see it.
Yeah.
Then he gets up and he flies away. And she's recording it the whole time. And I'm like, that... She's maybe at just at an angle where there's a fucking line there that you just can't see it because of the angle.
Yep.
But it was just one of them insane things.
Yeah, so I talked to Elliot last night, but I'm sure Al and Sue heard about it, but so now with the whole Epstein shit, did you hear about fucking the whole now Bill Clinton stuff? Like, apparently, according to the unsealed documents, they're saying that they have proof that Bill happened to visited the island a few times.
with a couple of underage
But
ladies.
they had fucking information on Bill from the day he died, from the day he got arrested till around the time he died. There was all this information about, like, there's a picture of him in a dress, like somewhere, like that's
Hillary's dress.
You know that Bill Clinton is hung out with this guy regularly, like regularly.
He's like one of Bill Clinton's best friends.
Yeah.
Basically.
Did you hear about TikTok too?
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. But I just thought it was just, of course, Clinton's denying it. But now
there's a bunch of videos online too with videos of him and Trump and like various different things, and I'm like, this is. I don't know.
Like, people have been saying, like, besides just even Clinton, well, like you're saying, Al, people knew about things, but I think for a lot of people, like, you can only deny shit so much, but then when you see actual documentation.
This is the problem that I have with everybody that wants to deny what they see with their eyes. Like, you will show somebody something, but if they're a fan, it's like the Clinton supporters and the Trump supporters, they're exactly the same. You could have video footage of Clinton doing something, and you could say, look, here. He's right here doing it. Oh nah, that's a lie. That's a lie. It's the same. Like they're like the fans of these people, like the people that support Trump, the people that support Clinton. They're like the same in that way. Like you could show people video evidence of Trump doing anything, and they'd be like, "Nah, that's a lie. Everybody's lying. Trump is telling the truth. That's a lie." It's the same thing with Clinton. We knew Clinton was involved with Epstein from way back when Epstein was arrested to around the time he died. All this information came out. People are still denying it. They're like, "Oh no, they're trying to besmirch it." No, we've seen the evidence. Like the evidence is out. You can no longer deny it.
It's a bias.
But it's
episode 7.
It's a weird bias.
Damn, we're going back like 20 episodes almost when I brought up the bias thing. Because you like somebody, your opinion's kind of skewed.
Well, I still have to watch Wednesdays, but because Al mentioned it, it's just been like, I know something like that, it's going to take me time to watch it, but the whole R. Kelly thing, like I was saying, it took them guys, 20 years? Because you knew this shit was going on for the longest time.
It blows my mind. I'm like, to this day,
R. Kelly married Aaliyah when he was 21 and she was 14.
And just the fact that happened, right? Just the fact that happened should have let you know that something was wrong.
Did he piss on her like all the other people?
Probably.
I don't know how this dude... Like, to this day, people still defend him and try to justify his actions.
R.I.P. Aaliyah.
And the only thing that I feel is missing from R. Kelly getting arrested and going to jail and serving a lot of time is the parents of a lot of those girls not getting charged as well. Like, a lot of those parents need to be charged as well.
They do.
Like,
because they allowed him to have sex with their children.
They did more than allow. Some of them brought their daughters to him because he was this powerful, wealthy entertainer, and they just wanted to be a part of his circle. Mm-hmm. They just wanted to be able to travel for free and to tell people, I'm associated with this guy, and they wanted that, and for that, they're willing to sacrifice their child. And I'm like, those, as a parent, I don't know, I feel like they need to get jail time.
Yeah.
I mean, like, whatever amount of time R. Kelly gets, those parents need to get the same amount of time. Just what it is, like.
Yeah.
And the fact that you know what blows my mind to this day? Like, I swear to, I don't understand how they have this man on tape having sex with a minor, and he did not get, how did he get away from being charged for that?
The Chewbacca arrested. Defense.
I don't get it. I don't get how you could have video evidence and still be like, I didn't do it. Like, we are looking at you. I could see you.
Sir, she's holding up her birth certificate. No, that bitch. That didn't happen.
That shit blows my mind.
No, Dave Chappelle had it right. In order to put him in jail, they needed him to show his ID, that girl, police officers to record it, his grandma to also say, yes, that's her grandson, R. Kelly. Like, Dave Chappelle covered this shit. He's like, in order to actually get him arrested, you're going to need all these things. I'm like, my God, is that even going to be enough?
Yeah, no, it's
insane.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's not just politicians. It's anybody that it's fame. It's people just, it's
Hollywood.
I mean, we talked about Bill Cosby before. It's like, it broke all of our fucking hearts, but there's people still to this day, like, they want him out, and they'll say, let him out. It's just...
This is the thing that I don't get is, like, I don't care what anybody says now. I swear to Christ, I will never support anybody that's doing wrong, and I could see you doing the wrong thing. Like, I don't care what affiliations we have. I don't even care. Like, the only the only thing I could say that the only bias that I will operate in is I could honestly say, if the person is a person that means a lot to me, like if they're directly related to me or they're close friends, I probably won't turn you to fuck into the cops, right? Yeah. But I will let you know that I'm not cool with it, and this is where we'll split ties. Like, if I see you doing something that I know is ridiculous, like if you're a pedophile, I'm not fucking with you. If you're out stealing or killing or doing crazy shit, I'm just not fucking with you. Like, it's wild that people will see, like, people will tell you, oh, I am totally against this badness, but depending on who does it, I'll be okay or not okay with it. You've got to be against somebody doing wrong, period. Like, that's just what it has to be. But because of people just enjoying their fucking bias, you know, and I say enjoying it because people will blatantly tell you, like, nah, I will stand with this person no matter what they do. People will tell you that shit right to your face. Like, I don't care what wrong he does. I don't care who he kills, who he rapes, what he does. I'm standing with him, and I don't get it. Me personally, I don't understand it.
Yeah, and it could be anything from, like, you know, he was my favorite president, he was my favorite rapper, he was, like, you know, she was my favorite actress. Like, there's still Amber Heard fans. It's like, well, it's funny. It's like, this is a little side note. I've been checking out more about that bullshit, but, like, you know, we were talking about, like, with Aquaman 2 being on delay because of COVID, and there was one petition for fans supporting her, you know, to still be Mera in Aquaman 2, and her fan petition has like 2,000 signatures, and of course, the Johnny Depp fans to get rid of her, it's like 475,000. So, but she still has 2,000 signatures supporting her. So
no, I thought it was she was trying to get 5,000. It was like 4,000.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it changes by day, but yeah, that's the time I've seen that. So, but yeah, it's a matter. You know, that's
honestly, I didn't know who she was until all this happened.
And that was kind of the point, though. It's like she wasn't a big name until all this happened, and look how much publicity she's gotten. You know?
Yeah, everyone's like, yeah, she was Mera in Aquaman. I haven't seen Aquaman.
Yeah, she wasn't at his status. So.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I had no idea who she was until the movie Pineapple Express.
Yeah,
like that's the first time I saw her.
Wait,
like,
she was in Pineapple Express?
Yeah,
I barely paid attention to that.
She was what's his face's girlfriend in that movie.
Oh, Franco.
That was his name in the movie? No, fucking what's his name?
Seth Rogen?
Seth Rogen's girlfriend.
Oh shit, wow.
Yeah, Pineapple Express, look it up.
I'll see, look it up. But well, I shared this on Facebook. It was kind of funny, but did you check out that big ass 60-foot Gundam robot? Yeah.
That was nostalgia in a fucking handbasket for me. It's like robot took one step, like it's a Gundam.
Yeah, the article I found was from a science website that said, yeah, it's like you're not watching Pacific Rim or any anime, but this is an actual 18-meter, 60-foot robot taking its first steps. At least, sort of.
No.
But designed after the popular Gundam robot from multiple TV series and manga, this is by far the largest robot ever created, and it looks just as awesome as we imagined.
Until it goes berserk and starts killing us all.
And it's actually made. It's currently in construction in Gundam Factory, Yokohama, Japan. It's seen lifting and lowering its legs in preparation for its debut in October 2020.
Be honest with yourself, Elliot. If you had an option of all the ways you could die, death by Gundam wouldn't rank in your top 10.
No. Here's how I'm going to die. Now that I know they're building a Gundam, I want to die trying to steal it. So I can become a tyrant and I own this planet. You in what army? My Gundam, motherfucker.
Like, I legitimately now want to die in a Gundam battle.
Yes. Let's do this shit.
Yeah.
It's like, how dare you oppose me?
Yeah.
Prepare to battle.
See? And people said anime were for kids. A fucking Gundam's being built.
See, they're still testing, but they said that it's going to be. It looks well on its way to fully independent walking.
Oh yes.
And it's a 25-ton walking robot. Damn. The robot will feature articulated fingers, 24 degrees of freedom, and the ability to support its huge weight, adding to Japan's impressive robotics records.
Yes. Build my Gundam, Japan. I watched Iron-Blooded Orphans. I want it. I want it now.
Iron-Blooded Orphans. That was a good series.
It ended terribly. I was laughing at the ending, but my God, my dude went fucking berserk.
There's so many fucking Gundam fucking series, too. There are way too many Gundam series.
Original was probably my favorite.
I like the one with the martial arts. I forgot what it was called. They were all like, they would get into the Gundams and they would like suit up and everything they did the Gundams would do. They had like all these martial arts fights with the Gundams. That was like my favorite series. I can't even remember its name.
Yeah. Last podcast we talked about this for a quick second, Al, but I never got to the actual article. I just wanted to talk about it because how fucked up it is, and I said like how our legal system is bonkers. But yeah. So this teenage girl, her name is Crystal Kaiser, but she is right now facing life in prison for she was killing a pedophile sex trafficker, and her case has sparked global controversy. Yeah. So the media has helped organize activists to raise money for her bail. So she's now 19, was released on bail, but still faces charges of arson and first-degree intentional homicide, which carries a mandatory life sentence. So she's due back in court in the future. She was being trafficked by the man she killed, 33-year-old Randy Villar, who was trafficking her since she was 16. Jesus. So they met when she was working as an underage escort, and he began requesting her services on a fairly regular basis. At first, they were voluntary, but then they became more complicated. There were reportedly dozens of other children that he was doing this to, as some as young as 12. Yep.
So why is anybody mad that he's dead?
Well, they're pissed off because she killed him, and they're gonna give her they're charging her with a life sentence for killing him.
It's fucking stupid.
So the whole point of the article was now she's out on bail, but they had to have social media and different organizations raise money for her bail.
They need to put me on her jury. There's no way she gets a day. So
the police caught up with Villar in 2018 on charge of child enticement using a computer to facilitate a child sex crime, second-degree sexual assault of a child. But they uncovered mountains of evidence from his home, including a large cache of videos that showed him abusing multiple different children on camera. So the girl was reportedly among the victims that were shown in the footage that was recovered from his home. However, he only spent a single night in prison and was released without bail. Fuck. Okay.
So tell me again how our justice system is fair. So he spends a night in jail and gets out, even though there's mountains of evidence of him sex trafficking. But she kills him, and she's in jail for a murder charge.
Yeah. So
out of here.
It says eventually he began trafficking her and taking the money that she made with her other clients to prevent her from gaining any type of independence from him. She then began to distance herself from him, but according to her, that is when he became more aggressive and even threatened to kill her if she left him. Around the same time, she became involved with a man named Delane Nelson, who gave her a handgun to defend herself, just in case he tried to follow through on his threats. But she ended up back at his house, and when it's not entirely clear why she went there or on her own free will, she says that he drugged her while she was at his house, and she was under the influence of the drug. He tried to rape her, and at some point during the struggle, she shot him twice in the head. She then set his body on fire and fled the scene. Okay, so she was picked up by police in nearby Milwaukee, and eventually confessed to killing after an interrogation. So, but yeah, I mean, people were obviously pissed off that, the fact that she was sitting in jail for X amount of time, and you're still fucking threatening her with a life sentence murder charge when she killed a pedophile sex trafficker that was molesting her. And okay,
I just don't get it. I know people like to give this whole thing about how we're not supposed to be judge, jury, and executioner, but she was literally a victim that was continuously being victimized. Even the night he died, he was trying to victimize her again. Like, how is it justifiable to punish her for defending herself?
That's why, I said multiple times, because I brought this up to Ellie after listening to last time when I talked about when I got beat up and shit, and why didn't I retaliate back, and situations like these are why, for the most part, I figured in my mind, because it's amazing how it is funny how time does slow down. Honestly, in the course of 5 seconds, your brain can pan out 10,000 scenarios in the course of 5 seconds, depending on how quick you think and shit. And when this whole thing was happening to me, first thing I was thinking of just not this situation, but situations I've been through, and 200 guys I've talked to in prison who were facing situations like this, where it's it seems like nowadays, if you are in legit self-defense, we did that article. This woman in Dubai reported a guy for rape and they threw her ass in prison.
Yeah.
So it's when I was getting beat up, I'm thinking I might as well hold down his ass whooping, because if I hit one of these kids, somehow they're gonna fucking lock me up for this shit.
I would have Zangief suplexed the kid, just straight up in the air, spinning.
Hit him with the spinning lariat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Get your man thong off my cheek! Fuck you, you little bastard! You attacked me first.
But yeah, like you were saying, Al, I'm glad she's out on bail, and I'm hoping that something. I hope that a lot of people look out for her, and something at least good comes from her not doing a fucking life sentence in prison for killing this piece of shit. But
they should chalk it up to time served and just call it done. But we've seen, if anything, she did us a favor.
Yeah,
by getting rid of this piece.
They'll probably they'll probably be pissed that they ruined their investigation and like, was the arson necessary? Like, well, at least this dude's gone. He's a piece of shit.
Yeah. People never understand that are on the jury of these prosecutors. When you're in the heat of the moment, I bet we've all fucking been there. The heat of the moment, your mind goes to some dark place, especially if this guy was a sex trafficker, if he was sex trafficking you, and he was probably trying to rape you. The last thing you're thinking, logic is just out the window at that point.
I mean, he would be wasting a lot of effort with me. I'm a big guy.
Well, it's the point. He fucking 33-year-old man, like a 17-year-old little 98-pound girl.
I'm older than him. He wouldn't be interested in me.
It's funny but true. Like,
well, you're like, well, think of it, like, I'm 35. This dude is not interested in me. It's like, dude, you're fat. I know. Don't you want to try to bring me in the back of your car, big boy? Too much effort. Well, fuck you too, buddy. Just like, what?
Yep.
I don't know. I'm glad this piece of shit's gone, honestly.
Yeah.
I joke, but fuck that guy.
Like, you know,
like I
it's
said
scary.
before.
Straight up and down, honest to God shit, she did us a favor. Like that. If I wish I was on her jury when fucking ever they tried to try her, because there is no way she's doing a day of fucking prison.
I would love to. You know what happened? No, tell me what happened. Well, this person, okay. Can you be unbiased? I could be. Are you going to be?
Exactly.
No.
I could be unbiased, but I am not even going to try.
Is she guilty or innocent? Fucking innocent. Fuck that guy, okay?
Fuck that guy.
That's scary, like you were saying, because I was listening to our podcast, Al, like you mentioned with the whole pedophiles and them always existing, and like anything, it makes you wonder if, like, between overpopulation, the population of this country, and social media, it's like, was this stuff always there? Was it on the rise? Or the fact that it hasn't been on the rise, it's always been there. But the fact that we have social media now we're actually hearing about it more and more because...
social media plays a part into it, but this is the thing. Pedophiles have always existed, just like homosexuals have always existed.
Yeah.
There's... The thing is, what's considered normal, like heterosexual behavior is considered normal.
Yeah.
And since the vast majority of us are heterosexuals tend to ostracize anything different, right? In terms of sexual relationships. It's why gay people for so long didn't want to come out and admit to being gay. Like, there was a whole generation of time, a whole era, where people were homosexual but would pretend they're not because of fear of being ostracized by their family, their community, friends, co-work, everything, right? There are that situation is essentially the same thing that's going on with pedophilia.
Yeah.
And I'm not a fan of pedophilia, and I understand the fucking hair trigger response to be like, no, fuck you, you piece of shit. If you want to molest children, you deserve to die.
Yeah.
But the problem is that they exist. Yeah. And they're always going to exist. And imagine the concept of, even if we were to wipe out every pedophile right now, today,
yeah,
in a year, we would have more because we create them when we make children, right? Like, as long as we're spawning more humans, we'll create more pedophiles. They're always going to exist. And is it fair of us to tell them not to be who they are because we don't like it? Because we just, to the core, reject that feeling of what they are. And I always say I don't like to compare it to the homosexual movement, because it's not really the same. It's only the same in the context of telling somebody not to do what they feel like doing just because we don't like it, right? Because there are things that are inherently bad, and then there are things that are bad just because we say they are. And when you think about pedophilia, because most of us don't do it and don't practice it, we don't want to, we have to acknowledge the fact that in nature, it's happening. Like, every animal species, as soon as a female is able to procreate, older males will procreate with her. Like, in the human species, for a long time in our our process along throughout history, where we started recording history and everything, that's always happened. Like, pedophilia has always existed. There's always there's always situations where an older man would marry like really young girls. It even happens today still, legally in parts of the world.
Well, we talked about this podcast, man. That one guy from the fucking Green Mile, that chick, remember with she was 16, he was 50?
Yeah.
I mean, it's very close. Like,
that dude was just a scumbag. Every character he played, I hated. So I was already like, I hate this dude. Every character he's ever played, I fucking hated him.
Like me, when I think about it from the context of an adult man that would purposely try to manipulate a child, that would try to separate a child from their family so he could implant his own things into her mind, so he could somehow manipulate her into like a sexual situation. That to me is like, that's the thing that just grates against the core of me. It makes me feel like in this situation I want to kill that guy, right? Yeah. But that's not always the case. There are some situations where there are girls who will be like 15 or 16 years old, but they're mentally very mature, and they would understand that they could develop feelings for a man in his early 20s, like a 22, 23-year-old man. And that happens all the time. Like in this, especially now in this day and age where the internet puts all information out there. So you're aware of almost everything before you're of the age where we consider you the right age to know shit. A lot of kids now are learning things at 10 that I didn't learn until I was like 18. Yeah. Right? So it's a weird situation because you will have really young girls. You have like a 14, 15, 16-year-old girl that will see a 22-year-old guy and be like, I want to date him. Yeah. And if this guy isn't trying to trick or manipulate her, a lot of times, on average, that guy will probably say no. Yeah. Right? But this girl, it doesn't mean like some girls don't stop trying, or some girls will keep trying until they find that guy that says, fine.
Not to mention, too, right? To mention the guy, like, I'm sure we all probably know some guys out there, like, I'm 22, I'm still a fucking virgin, and the chick is 14, she's built like a 21-year-old girl, because, like, we've seen it, a lot of girls are 14, they're not built like a 14-year-old.
And understand, a lot of these 14-year-old girls go out of their way to look older. Like, consider that. Like, girls that, like, remember when you were 13, girls, the concept of a girl wearing makeup didn't even exist in your world. Like when you saw a female with makeup, she was an adult. True. Today, you could go on almost any social media platform and see a girl that you will mistake for a 20-something-year-old. You would look at her bio and be like, oh shit, this chick is 13. Yeah. And then you fucking run away from her page now because you feel like a pervert. Like, you know?
Not so just that, but look at how they have filters for kids now, too, that make them...
Oh, actually, remember Joe Rogan was talking about that?
He said, exactly.
Joe said on his phone, he said his daughter's just like, she's like, Daddy, I'm an adult. He goes, no, you're not, but he's put that shit down. But Joe made that joke with saying, like, his daughter had this makeup app where it's like, he's like, that's not my daughter. He goes, have you seen my daughter, seen this picture of what she did on her phone? He goes, this is two different fucking people.
And that shit is terrifying, because imagine the technology. Imagine, like, a girl would look at that picture on her, that filter on her phone, and she, in her mind, she'd be like, I want to look like this. Yeah. And some girls would go out and buy makeup. It's the reason why the makeup industry is a $1 billion industry, because the people that control it understand that a lot of these girls want to look different. They want to look mature. They want to look older than they are. Like, and I don't know, it's weird, because the way we're conditioned in our society is when you're young, you want to be older, but when you're old, you want to be younger. And that's just weird. Yeah. But these pedophiles are really out of control now. But like I was saying, is it fear of us to tell them you can't do this just because we don't like it? Because that's essentially the argument that leads to, at some point, people saying, fuck what you like, I'm gonna do what I want. Like, I no longer want to live in the closet, and I no longer want to curb my behavior because you're uncomfortable. I want to be able to live my life freely. And that's, at some point, we're going to get to that place. So we need to start asking the questions like, what do we do? Because the vast majority of us aren't comfortable with pedophiles. Yeah. Like the vast majority of us don't like them on any level. Like, to the core of us, we feel like this is an abomination to nature in every way. Like, you want us to give you the right to have sexual relationships with children. Yeah. Like, you want to be able to see a 9-year-old or a 10-year-old and be like, I want to have sex with this person. And you want me to accept that as an adult, this person isn't manipulated. Like, you're not controlling the, like, you're in a position of authority, absolute authority. This person is 9 years old. They're in a place where their mind is still telling them, listen to the adults. Like, the adults make the rules. So there's no way you could convince me that dynamic is going to work in any way other than you want to be with this person because they're a child and you could completely control them. And if it's my child, I'm not with it, right? That's just what it is. So it's weird, dude. It's crazy. But like I said, the place that we're going to end up in eventually is a place where they no longer will be seeking permission.
What's on your mind?
No, I was thinking unless you're that 50-some-odd-year-old dude who thinks he's a 6-year-old girl getting plowed by like 40, 50-plus-year-olds.
Are we still on that?
No, because that's all I can think of, because there are actual people who are saying they're a different age, and I find it humorous because my mind constantly goes back to that piece of shit who left his wife with all those kids to be a 6-year-old girl adopted by an actual family who has adopted sisters that are 7 or 8 years old while he has a job having sex with all these bikers. It just keeps coming back to that because that's how fucking ridiculous in my mind it is. It's fucking ridiculous.
Here's the thing with that. To you and I, it's ridiculous, but I don't have a problem with it, and this is the reason. At the end of the day, he's still an adult man that gets to make a weird decision. And as long as you're an adult and you're okay with your weird shit, then I'm fine with you doing weird shit. Even if I don't get it and I don't like it, I'm fine with you doing what you want to do. My problem becomes when they try to convince me that, like, weird people should be allowed to have that kind of weird influence over young children. Like, that's where my issue starts. He's a weirdo. And, like, there's a lot of things that guy did that I don't agree with. Like, he was gay, but never admitted to himself he was gay. So he got married and had children. And then, in his older years, he decided, I don't want to be a husband and a father. I want to be a 6-year-old girl and let bikers plow me. And then he bailed on his family. He bailed on his wife and kids.
When you hear it,
exactly.
It's like bikers plow me.
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous to us, but I'm saying as long as he's an adult, I'm fine with him doing whatever weird shit he likes. But the only part of it that I disagree with is what he did to his family. Like you like you fucked around and you should have just, if you had admitted to yourself a long time ago what you were, you could have saved that woman and those kids like the shit that you put them through. Because she could have met somebody that would have married her and had kids with her and lived with her and did the normal shit as opposed to you doing this other shit.
Well, I think it's just always gonna be human beings though. It's like they'll never find what causes, like, I mean, I'm sure maybe outside of our lifetimes, but like maybe one day they will find out what causes clinical depression, what causes suicide. Because like these things we talked about before, like suicide is not part of not even just our species, but like any species across the planet. Suicide is not the natural part of life. There's something born inside your brain that's broken, just like pedophilia. Pedophilia is just not something that's, well, we as humans consider to be natural, but it keeps happening because certain things happen that we just can't explain yet. Maybe one day they'll find a cure for it. I mean, who said it could be a fucking 200 years from now or something, but until that happens, the whole point of this article was like, these laws gotta fucking change though. It's like, is this guy fucking rapes kids, you give him fucking 2-3 months in jail, and this girl kills him, you want to fuck hit her with life sentence? Like,
well, the thing with pedophilia is, understand that it's not, pedophilia isn't, in the laws of nature, there's nothing wrong with pedophilia. Well, yeah. Pedophilia is only wrong because in our society, we created laws for it, right?
In that sense,
In nature, if we were just animals living in the wild, every time a female becomes of the point where she could reproduce, people would reproduce with her. Like, that's how it happens in nature. Like, as soon as a female is able to produce offspring, older males will reproduce with her. It doesn't, like, in nature, there's nothing wrong with it. So it's not like, oh, this guy's brain is broken. It's just that for some reason, the vast majority of us have accepted, I don't know if it's because the law was created and we just accepted it to the point of, we accepted it to the point of, this is the law and this is what we're going to do and this is what feels safe. This is what feels good. So when you hear somebody say that I want to live outside the norm, it just seems weird. Yeah. Especially if you apply logic to it. Like, if you don't think about it from an animalistic standpoint, if you think about it from a logical standpoint, in terms of, if I want a relationship with a woman, with a female, I want somebody mature, somebody who's I could talk to, who could legally connect with me in a sexual way, in an emotional way, in a way that if we make any kind of future plans, like let's say I wanted to buy a house, have some kids, settle down, like we could have those discussions. But how do you, as a 35, 40-year-old man, have those kind of conversations with a 10-year-old or a 12-year-old? Like, it doesn't make sense from a logical point of view, right? If we were just random animals in the wild where we could just impregnate a female and never see her again, then it wouldn't matter. because you don't have to worry about making life plans.
Yeah.
But because we live in a society where we are very structured, that shit makes no sense. Pedophilia makes no sense. So it's easy for us to reject it. Yeah. But like I said, at some point we've got to acknowledge that these guys are here and they're not going anywhere. And no matter how we feel about it, at some point they will push back hard because they exist. And we're telling them essentially, you don't get to be who you want to be because I don't like it. And I mean, as long as I'm alive, that's probably going to be my standpoint because I don't like it. And I don't see anybody being able to talk me into liking it. I don't see somebody being able to change my mind on it. Like, I honestly could tell you that my entire life is going to go by and I'm never going to flip my stance on pedophilia. I'm never going to one day wake up and be like, yeah, you're 40 years old, go ahead and fuck this 10-year-old. Like, it's never going to happen. But at some point, we need more open-minded people than my generation, obviously, because we're not going to go for it. We need more open-minded people to have the conversation of what do we do, because it's only a matter of time before they start pushing back hard. It's only a matter of time. It's just like with the homosexuals that were being told, you don't get to be who you are because we don't like it. Because our religion that, tells us that this is wrong. And I grew up in a household where they told me that this is wrong. And, I don't see whatever reasoning that you have for not liking it. They were being told, you don't get to be accepted by society because we don't like it. And at some point, they just got sick of that because it's not, when you think about it from their point of view, they're not any different from us in any way. They are us. Essentially, the only difference is they're attracted to the same sex. But in every other aspect, they are us. They are human beings. I'm a human being. They're a human being. We born in the same country. We have the same rights. That's just what it is. Like there's no superiority or inferiority. It's not like I'm better because I'm straight or you're lower because you're gay. It doesn't exist. We're equal. Like we're the same.
I mean, I've said this before, like, as funny as it is, like, we are, like you're saying, you're accepting the fact that, say a girl's 20 years old. If she's 20 years old, by every legal standpoint, she's mature enough to make her own decisions. She can't drink yet, according to laws, but she's 20. Now, if she's fucking an 80-year-old man, to me, that's like, listen, how would any 80-year-old man relate to a 20-year-old girl?
Well, here's the thing. The same, and this is going to be unpopular, but I would apply the same logic to a 40-year-old man that wants to date a 10-year-old. I would apply that logic to any 20-year-old that wants to date an 80-year-old. An 80-year-old man, I could safely bet that he's not in his right, like, mental state of mind in order to, like, make decisions that fairly affect his life and hers where she's involved. She's going to use her feminine wiles. She's 20 years old. She's got a 20-year-old vagina. He's an 80-year-old man that's like, I've got this 20-year-old vagina. He's pretty much essentially going to do whatever she wants all the time based on nothing other than her whims. So I was like, it's not really a fair trade-off.
That's what I'm saying. The age gap, you figure, like, let's even fucking pick, like, 70, for example, okay? If you're 70 and say she's 21, but there's a 50-year age gap. Now it's like
consenting adults.
Well,
it's perfectly legal.
No, that's me. It's perfectly legal, like you're saying. But what can any modern 21-year-old girl relate to a 75-year-old man?
Maturity.
No, there's no relating there. The thing is, when I see that, and you know what? No, that's not fair for me to say. This is the reality of life. Those two, a 21-year-old girl and an 80-year-old man, might actually have some shit in common. It individually, as individuals, not on the spectrum of all 21-year-olds and all 80-year-olds, because obviously there's a fucking gap there of a whole life. But in terms of that individual and that individual, like that particular female and that particular guy, those two might have shit in common. They might vibe and mesh well in whatever aspects. They might have shit that they do together, that they like, whatever the case is. So it's possible that he met her, she liked him, he liked her, they got together, they worked it out, whatever. That's totally possible. But in my mind, whenever I see that, the automatic assumption is this bitch is a gold digger and this guy's got money and she's looking for the easy street.
I'm the same way.
It's probably not a fair assessment because who knows, that might not even be the case. This guy might not have money. She might have money. She might just genuinely like him. That's totally possible. Yeah. But how often do you actually see that situation where, like, I could point out a slew of women throughout history, and not even old history, in modern American history, where a hot young chick married an old wealthy man just for his money with no intent of anything other than waiting him out so that she could inherit cash.
Happens all the time.
Like, it happens all the time. Like, almost every day. Like,
no, that was my first point. I'm about to be 39 in a couple of days. Like, even for me, a 21-year-old girl, besides a physical aspect, like, for a 21-year-old girl, there's not much to talk about with her for me.
That's a fact. Like,
I just don't like.
I could talk about that on a personal level, but I'm not going to. But I can tell you this in all honesty. At my age, I am 41 years old. I am about to be 42 in December. I cannot relate to a 21-year-old on any level about anything right now because there are very mature 21, 22-year-old girls. They're very well-adjusted. Some of them are like really hip and in the now. But in generally speaking, when you meet a 20-year-old, they're still in party mode. Like, they're still in the, I want to hit the clubs. I want to hang out with my friends. I want to drink. I want to do drugs. I want to do all this stuff. And that's fine. I got nothing against it. What I'm saying is I've been there, done that. I'm not there anymore. Yeah. So you're going through it. And for me and you to date is wild because I'm going to offset everything you want to do. When you want to go out with your friends and get high and drink and party, I want to be at home. And if we're dating, I want you home with me.
That's true.
If we're dating, you want me out with you. But we are not meshing well because we're in two different places completely. That's just how that's going to go.
Yeah, and that can come from different cultures. Like, I mean, if the four of us were, for the most part, still kind of in the same, like, we've all for the most part, know the same kind of movies, music, comic books, pop culture references, etc., etc. I mean, I still, like, right now, at 39, anybody who's 15 or 16, I'm not listening modern music. I said there's nothing in modern music that's coming out that, like, I like or can relate to. I mean, I see shit like Justin Bieber or fucking, like, or whatever, what the fuck's the boy band there? So what's those four boys there?
What?
Fucking
ethnicity?
There's the Asian ones. There's Asian ones.
The
BTS,
K-pop,
yeah, just like
K-pop groups.
Yeah.
BTS. All the
my niece loves these bands, so I know them.
That's
I was
what I'm
like,
saying.
oh god, okay.
Netflix is making K-pop popular as shit.
Honestly,
I mean, K-pop is really popular if you're in Korea, but over here. Most people don't know.
I'd rather have my niece listen to that than a lot of shit from here, to be honest.
Like you're saying now.
I've seen some of these videos. Some of them shit's really sexual. Like,
some of the,
sexual.
No, she doesn't watch those. She watches some ridiculous shit. I'm like, what the hell is this? She's like, K-pop? I was like, I watched K-pop before you. She's like, really? When? I'm like, Family Guy.
Peter Griffin.
She's like, wait, what? I'm like, yeah, they went to Korea.
Yeah,
they even made a song about it. She's like, really? I'm like, yeah, here's a video. It's like, what the hell is this? I'm like, exactly.
Well, it's a funny joke that everyone goes through this generation. Like, my generation makes the best music and the next generation music sucks. But the funny part, when you actually break that down, there have been musicians and people who actually study music. They'll break down actual instruments and beats and tempos and, like, well, according to the actual mathematics, yes, at every generation your music actually does fucking suck, because it's like nowadays anybody can take like a drum and fucking bat like this for 3 minutes and talk and like that's music. Like, that's not fucking music. Like,
I mean, you gotta understand that as we advance as a society, the way we do things change. Like, at one point in time, to be a musician, like, you think about like back in like old Regency England, like 1800s, to be a musician then, this is something you had to dedicate your life to.
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't just be like, oh, I'm a musician because I casually play this and it sounds good or whatever. No, like a piano player was a piano player because he committed to that. Like, and pianos were built by hand and very fine-tuned because they had to be. There was no other way to do it.
Exactly.
And as time progressed, music changed. We like, if you were to compare an orchestra from like the 1800s to like an orchestra to today, people will tell you like, oh no, the orchestra in the way back in the day was better. These today orchestras are shitty. But by our standards, an orchestra is a phenomenal body of people who are incredible at playing their instruments.
Yeah.
But if you compare them to like the olden day, it's just different. It's not. And as we progress, the way we do things change. Like right now, the way we make music is very different from the way music had to be made. Like, you literally, like you said, you could buy a mixer, you could buy a fucking a drum machine, you could buy a keyboard, you could put it all together, and you could make a fucking phenomenal fucking song. But it's just a lot easier than it was then. And even saying that, let's be honest, it's not really that easy unless you really sit down and study and learn how to do it. Like, it's easy once you know how to do it. You could tell people, oh, this is easy. But if I've never done it, it's not easy. Like,
Yeah, well, we've definitely seen, but this is like I always felt with a lot of people said with like auto-tune, like any woman goes to like an opera, or she goes to like a church choir, like there definitely is women like I've always made the joke with Lady Gaga, like I listened to Lady Gaga on Howard's show, and she will show up 2 hours before Howard has her on, and she trains and she vocalizes like Lady Gaga. That woman can fucking sing, like she really can.
That's not a person's singing ability is not a fair assessment of anything because some people are naturally born with it. Like a singing ability is not some shit you could acquire.
Yeah.
Like you have to be born with the ability to sing, and some people are, and they're
born
like,
with it and train at it.
and some people are born at higher levels. There are people who are born so gifted with singing that they would never train a day in their lives. Yep. One day, they'll be like 15 years old, sitting down, they'll hear a song, they'll sing it, and they'll realize, oh shit, I can sing. And then that person will go on, and they will. Like, I've seen people sing songs and hit notes with no understanding of what the notes are or what they're doing. They just hear it and replicate it. And that's a natural talent that some people have. Other people would be born with a lower level of talent, but they could work at it and become better. Yeah. Like there are singers where you could clearly tell the difference between this person and that person. Like you could tell the difference between somebody like Celine Dion and Beyonce. Beyonce is a phenomenal entertainer, but in terms of singing, she's not on Celine Dion's level on anything. Yeah. So it's like some people have that talent and some people could work at the talent. Yeah.
Well, no, that was just my whole point. That there have been times in the past they've seen some like some pop stars, and this is why like a lot of pop stars.
That's why, even though Mariah Carey, for example, she sucks as a human being.
She's crazy.
But that bitch can sing.
Yeah, she can.
She can sing.
That bitch can go.
She literally hits the highest octave.
That's my point. So
is
that, but like, there's been times in the past where you'll see these like a lot of these pop stars. They have no longevity because the thing is the auto tuning will only get you so far, and then because everyone knows this, or they should have known this for the past 20 years now, that the money became less about the CDs and digital sales and became all about touring. Mm-hmm. And so and there's also been fucking artists that have been touring and they also do lip syncing and the audio plays out for you. But Elliot's seen this too. I've been to SPAC, and SPAC, when you see certain bands play, you can tell between a fucking band member who's lip syncing or even like 9 band members. It could be a singer, a guitarist, a drummer. They're not playing the fucking, they're playing to the background versus a live actual performance. And that's my point, is like people that can actually play with singing, guitar, also piano, any kind of instrument that's you're good at. That longevity will play out more than the pop singer who like dyes her fucking hair pink and she can lip sync to like X amount of songs. But eventually, when you go on live touring, people start catching on to that shit. Like you actually can't fucking sing. Like you're all about sex appeal, and your music for the most part fucking sucks. You're only selling albums because guys want to fuck you and little girls want to be you. But you have no actual fucking talent. Versus like some women, like even like we mentioned, like Adele. Adele, good for her for losing all that weight. She looks fantastic. But Adele wasn't really known for being the hot chick. But that woman could fucking sing.
I don't know. She fucking depressed me.
You say what you want, man. You know what's weird? And this is gonna sound weird to everybody. The first time I heard Adele sing, I'm like, I want to sleep with this woman. And I thought, and you know what's funny? What's funny is the first time I heard her sing, I thought she was a black woman. And then I saw her video and I was like, she's white. Yeah. And then I was like, she's still hot though. People
it's like Sam Smith. Like, you would not, just to listen to his voice, if you did not see him, you would think he was a black man.
Yeah. No, it's not. I'm not saying Adele is.
She could still get it.
No, I'm not. No, I mean, I've seen her weight loss. She looks fantastic. I'm not saying she's ugly.
Here's the thing, though. She didn't need to lose the weight. Like, it's not like she was a hideous woman. She was just big. Like, and she wasn't. It's like I don't know if
she wasn't that big though.
I was just about to go there. It's not like she was an obese bitch. There's like
what
hanging
all
over herself.
Too was she had a kid. And obviously, like, when you have a kid, you do gain weight. You want to drop that weight.
Nobody cares about that. The only people that care about that are women. Like, women care about that more than men do.
That's the thing.
Like, she put on some weight and she wanted to get back to a lower weiit. But that shit, it doesn't really matter.
We're just breaking man rules.
But that was my whole point about the whole fucking pop star sensation was like, people said like I was, I never thought Adele was ugly by any means. The point is, but when you're trying to fucking sex sales, you look at the Britney Spears, the Christina Aguilera's, the Beyonce's, for example. Like,
some people bring their own appeal.
Christina Aguilera can sing though too.
Christina Aguilera can
I'm not saying she can't sing. I'm just saying.
Britney Spears, on the other hand, not
hearing her sing. I remember hearing Christina Aguilera sing a cappella for the first time. It was like years ago, And she was doing a warm up for a concert where she had just put out that video for Dirty.
Okay.
And I remember her doing like a vocal warm up, and I was like, this chick can really blow. Like she could really sing. Like she can sing.
She's got a good voice.
She can hit them notes. Like I was like, damn, I didn't
blow.
I did. Like when you like this is the problem that happened to Christina Aguilera, right? She was one of those people that was naturally talented. She was gifted with the ability to sing, but she never. The people that wrote for her, the songs that her team purchased, was never those songs that showcased her ability.
You're right.
Like they never had any real deep meaning, and they never really had any range in terms of the music, the notes and everything. So she never got to. People never got to view her as an iconic singer because she was never given that. But she has that ability. Like if you just hear her sing,
she has that ability. A couple songs like that.
Yeah.
Not enough.
Being someone who is actually a very huge Christina Aguilera fan.
My God.
She doesn't have enough of them because I can't think of any of them. Like I can't think of any song. I don't even know that song.
It's from her very first album.
I don't even know. What I know from her very first, from her early debut shit, is that Genie in a Bottle. That was a pop. That was a huge mega sensation.
What a Girl Wants.
What a Girl Wants.
Like she did.
Like all that.
Freaking
with that collaboration.
The ones for her though.
Hold on.
The ones for
I'm
her.
gonna type in Christina Aguilera's top song singles. I guarantee you, it's like I was saying. It's a point
They're
of like.
They're gonna be like the poppier, more.
That's the
point.
But the thing of it is, that's because of the time frame in which.
Yeah, well,
I'm gonna throw something out there. People are not gonna agree with me. The best and most ranged singers, in my opinion, are rock singers and metal singers. You can all disagree with me, but they can hit some insane ranges.
I'll say this.
Because
I can't
they
argue with
scream, though.
No, they can go from singing normally like pop singers to literally blasting your eardrums out. But that
now, are you talking
insane.
about like nowadays rockers or rock?
I'm talking about like the last 20 years. I'm going from Slipknot. Tell me you haven't heard some of Slipknot's softer stuff.
I don't know.
Yeah, that dude can literally...
Corey Taylor is a freaking like gem to behold, so I'll agree with you on that. But
yeah, there's other ones.
If you go like back further, like Freddie Mercury.
He was not a metal.
But he was rock.
The reason I can't even get in on this argument is because I don't listen to a lot of heavy metal.
Yeah, I don't
and a lot of rock. I listen to some rock, but I definitely don't do heavy metal at all.
I do. So, I go straight to black metal at times, and that stuff like scares people.
See, metal, I'm not that into. Rock, I'm fine with.
I'm into both. Because there are some things, I don't just listen to all of it, but like, my God, this guy can make my ears bleed. No, there has to be something about these songs. I don't want to just hear some dude scream like, my God, those vocals or the lyrics are badass.
Well, see, that's the problem with fucking metal. Like, I would say it's like there's women out there like Christina Aguilera who can sing very deep songs, but she gets drowned out by the pop songs. There's metal.
Exactly.
There's a lot of metal guys there who can actually sing very good fucking vocals. The problem is the endless
drowned out by things like freaking Megadeth.
The endless fucking screaming and grunting and like I've heard metal songs where it's like I'll listen to 3 minutes. I'm like, what? Is there an actual lyric in this song? Like, because all I hear is just grunting.
This is literally all of it.
There are some like that, and I'm like, what the hell is this crap? Like,
you know what's impressive about it? What's super impressive about metal music is that
the most impressive thing is that I actually was able to sing a metal song just now. Like any metal song you think of, I literally just sang it.
That might have been thrash metal, and I do not approve.
I've heard people play metal songs because I work with guys. I work with guys who listen to like hard metal shit. And this music would come on, and I have no idea what it's saying. It just sounds like to me, from my perspective. But then I would look over, and I would see the guy singing the song and hitting it word for word, and I'm like, how are you doing that? How is that possible? Because I didn't even know he was saying words.
It's a completely different language. Because
to me, it sounds like he's drowning underwater.
You're not wrong.
See, Al just sang a metal song. Ooh. Sorry, Chris.
Yeah, Sue's getting enthusiastic. Talk about music, and Sue comes out of the corner at you.
But I would listen to any song where I could understand the lyric. Like there are people who, like most people are like that. I know people who won't listen to reggae at all because they don't understand the words, the accents, and everything. And I get it, so I wouldn't say anything about that. I listen to a lot of reggae music because just where I grew up, that was the prevalent music. So I listen to a lot of it.
I got you.
I know a lot of people who are like, I won't listen to it because I can't understand it. And I don't even get mad at that because it makes sense to me. If I can't understand it, why would I listen to it? Like in terms of, and let me rephrase that, because there are songs that I don't know the meaning of simply because the song is in a completely different language, but I like the tone of the song. Like, I like the melody of it. It sounds good, and the beat is good, and the melody of the person singing is good, and I can listen to it because it sounds nice. But for all I know, that person could be singing, all hail Satan, let's bring the demons out and eat all humans, and I would be vibing to it like, oh shit, this is great, but I don't know the words.
That's funny because I actually have songs like that. I got one for you. It's like rock rap / metal rap. Listen to Fallen in Reverse, Popular Monster.
I've heard that one.
It's a good song.
You'd have to text that to me later because I won't remember.
Yeah, so I'm trying to find Christina's top hits, but it's there's a lot of different articles. But like, okay, here's a prime example. They showed Katy Perry. I don't mind some of Katy Perry's songs, but I know her for two things,
Fireworks.
No, I said
the chick who sang "I Kissed a Girl."
I'm saying the two things that are on her chest. It's like, I'm sorry, but
Hey.
her singing ability is very lacking. I've heard listening to Katy Perry. I'm not a fan.
John Tron did Fireworks better than Katy Perry, and I think Katy Perry might have stolen it from John Tron.
It's there's so many articles about I'm trying to find actual official what Christina Aguilera's top. But anything we've all heard for Genie in a Bottle, fucking Lady Marmalade's on here, beautiful.
She wants to rub me the wrong way.
Fighter's a good one, but like I was saying, for the most part though, it's because she was when she came out, almost like how Backstreet Boys were fucking being with NSYNC, she was competing with Britney Spears.
Exactly.
Britney Spears in comparison can't fucking sing at all. But
worth a goddamn. But she had the better marketing team.
But she actually sold more albums too. Yeah,
and she sold because she was selling sex hardcore. You remember that when she came out with the little high school girl.
Oh yeah. I was fucking in.
I was in
freaking 11th grade. Yeah.
Everybody that saw that video was like, "Yeah, this girl is going places." Hold
on.
That video was more impressive than that song could ever be.
That's my whole point. The whole thing underlined was that this is when you take Adele. I don't think she's ugly by any means, but when you look at Adele, it's she doesn't have the Gwen Stefani, the Britney Spears, the Beyonce, the Lady Gaga. She doesn't have that type of body, and unfortunately, that's overall though. No, but Adele said she broke the mold because when she came out, her album sales trumped over her quote unquote.
This is the thing is that she had actual marketable talent.
That's what I'm saying.
She could sing her ass off. So it's you listen to her songs and she most of her songs are heavy hitting ballads.
Yeah.
So it's
definitely.
You hear her song and it's I want this album. Even if she doesn't fit the quote unquote beauty standard, she's still so talented and her songs are so good that you still want the album. And that's the shit that made.
Okay. This is as of March 2016. Adele has sold she sold 24.4 million albums in fucking 4 years. That's insanity.
Think about it. Because she has talent and she sings good songs.
Okay, well, that's according to Adele Discography. That's like this though. Now this is a different website saying, okay, with sales more than 120 million records, Adele is one of the world's most best-selling musical artists. 120 million records since fucking A. That's the point. It's
and people can claim whatever they want to claim about
Adele. 4 fucking years. That's.
They can say whatever they want to say about the way she looks, but if Adele ever gave me a chance, I would be a committed simp.
My God,
I
would be a committed simp for Adele. I would, without a second thought.
No, for every generation, you do get your Adeles, you do get your Lady Gagas, but that's what I'm saying. Overall, though, it's the music. It's like you said, the constant pop stars, they don't have this musical talent. But unfortunately, it's like junk food. It's like junk food sells more than healthier food. That's just the way it goes.
It's cheaper.
And it's not as hard to produce or hard to make.
I don't know. I think I might simp out to some Maria Brink or Alyssa White Cruz. Hey, Maria Brink can grab a man's attention, especially because the first song was Adrenalize and then it was Whore, and I was like, yes, she can be.
Yeah, she's got a sexy type, her genre, but that's not everyone's cup of tea.
I don't care. That's my cup of tea. That's my future ex-wife right there.
Let's see. Oh, did you hear about? Okay, moving on. Well, the whole. I'm just laughing because this actually was I'm not sure how seriously you can take this. It's probably bullshit, but like with the whole Elon Musk, in the retrospect of like the whole Johnny Depp and Amber Heard situation, Elon Musk, he did challenge Johnny Depp to a cage match, and Conor McGregor's coach offers to train Elon Musk for his quote unquote fight with Johnny Depp. Now, I mean, Musk is 49, Johnny Depp is 57. I'm not seeing. I love Johnny Depp. He doesn't seem like the kind of type.
That's one of them things. That's one of them things I rather read about it after the fact.
Yeah.
Like I would never buy into that or even watch that. But I totally read about it like, oh shit, Elon Musk got his ass kicked?
My money would be on Johnny Depp because he's actually been in Pirates of the Caribbean, a lot more physical.
I mean, I look at Johnny Depp's one of the kind of guys where he's not a big dude or kind of intimidating, but I guarantee he's the kind of guy who's like, just gonna like fucking bite your ears off and like slit your throat. He seems like the whole dirty fighter. Like Johnny's
Very
just
wiry.
Exactly.
It's a spider monkey.
I'm telling you, man. Yeah, but let's see. We'll see. Elon Musk was telling that he said on Joe Rogan that he's an expert and he took Taekwondo as a kid. He's interested in pursuing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So Elon Musk thinks that he's a badass because he's a billionaire. And
well, money kind of does that to people.
If
he can't beat someone's ass, he'll pay someone else to beat your ass.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
So I seen this article actually on Facebook, probably like an hour for Al got here. I didn't know this, but I love Tracy Morgan. Every time Tracy Morgan says anything, I listen to this. Man, it makes me fucking laugh like no other. But apparently a lot of people are fucking shitting on this situation because his wife wants to file for a divorce after 5 years. Okay, but the biggest thing which pissing people off is that after 5 years of marriage, she wants half his money that he got in the Walmart settlement when the truck hit him. That's what people are pissed off about. He got paid $90 million for the Walmart settlement. She wants half that. She also wants his $20 million mansion.
The fuck?
After 5 years of being married, and a lot of people were like, it's amazing. They felt like, she kind of stuck around until the payday came through. But
prenup, men, if you're gonna marry a woman, have her sign that thing that you keep your shit. Be safe.
Well, see, a lot of people have said like, why did he get a prenup? Well, after they just got married, a lot of people were speculating the fact that he wasn't in his right mental mind after the whole Walmart incident. So it's like she's kind of taking advantage of the situation. So, which means Tracy announced it. He hasn't bashed her yet, but like, damn, the fact that she wants half that fucking Walmart settlement and she wants his fucking house, like that's kind of.
But what does she do in 5 years?
Well, she was there for him when.
Apparently, her vagina is magical. And
I don't know. I wouldn't be paying $45 million for a vagina.
On top of a twin.
hers is magical, though. You gotta understand. Like,
I don't know. You know what's also magical?
Leaks gold and
$45 million. That could buy me a lot of vagina.
her vagina oozes gold and fucking.
Well, I did like read
diamond tablets that comes out of it.
See, then she won't need his money because she got a vagina that oozes gold.
Like that shit blows my mind. Like I'll say this. I'm one of them guys that definitely believes that if you've been married to a woman, let's say y'all got married and y'all have like 20, 25, 30 years of marriage, and then there's a divorce.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be against her saying I want half because she's been there, she's raised the kids, she's taken care of home, she's done the work. Fine. I still think I'm not 100% comfortable with it because I feel like if he's the one earning that capital, like you need to, if you want the money, you need to tough it out till death do us part. Like if you want to be able to spend the money, stay married and tough it out. Like, but you shouldn't have access to all that money after 5 years of marriage. Like that's insane to me.
That's why a lot of people
like
are flipping out.
You've been married 5 years and now you want out and now you want half of everything. Why? What did you do? What did you put into this? Like for like a year and a half of that time, he was fucking recovering. Like why do you deserve that kind of money for 5 years? Like why? Explain that to me.
I believe in half of what you built together.
Like, and that's what I'm saying. That's why I say if they've been married 25 years, 30 years, you could understand that she was there through the thick and thin. She was helping him build all through his career. Yeah. While he was putting his career together, she was there. While he was making this money, she was there. She was holding him down. She was raising the kids. She was taking care of home, taking care of him. Like, you get it after a 25-year marriage or 30-year marriage. But after 5 years, get the fuck out of here. Like, why do you deserve half of his money?
Here's Tracy Morgan. I got a Walmart settlement, and then I found love. Like, dude, run. Fucking run.
That's why. Get married and fucking get a prenup, man. Fucking...
Yeah.
If you're a millionaire,
Yeah, and it happens all too fucking often, and this is like,
The sad thing is, this is what's crazy about the way how our society is set up. Like, women are told in our society to find a guy that has money. Like, a lot of times, they're not even, the whole concept of telling a woman to get your own stuff is something that very recently started happening. But for the most of it, they've been told, oh, just find a guy that can take care of you. Find a guy that has money. And that's fine if you want to do that. I'm not even mad about a woman saying, I want to be with a guy that has money. My problem is, if you're going to marry a guy that has money, then stick through the bullshit long term for that money. Like, don't be like 3 years in, I need to get out and I want half of everything. 5 years in, I want out and I want half of everything. No, you didn't earn anything. You know, you want half of everything, tough it out. 30 years, 35 years, 40 years. That do his part.
I'd give her a treasure map. Like, have fucking fun. Here's half of my shit. Like, where do I start? Read the fucking map.
I feel like he should fight in every way to make sure she doesn't get shit. That 5 years doesn't earn you.
But I'm sure he'll just cave in because, like, I'm sure.
Fuck that. That's the bullshit. Like, you know, especially since you know that for the time that she has been with him, he's been taking care of her. She's been living a millionaire's life for that 5 years. She's been driving nice cars, wearing nice clothes, going to nice venues, eating nice food, living in a nice mansion. She's been living a high life in that 5 years, and all of that counts for nothing because now she wants out and she wants half. Because essentially what it is she wants to live that life, but she no longer wants to be tethered to him.
Yep.
She wants to be free and clear to do whatever she wants because she's seen all these guys in this magical circle of power that she's probably interested in, and she wants to be able to do what she wants. But she wants the money and the access to do it. So that means I want to be free of him, but I want half of his money.
So it's an Evita situation. I think nobody's seen that movie. Evita with Madonna, who started sleeping with
it's been a long time.
A guy who just played guitar in bars and stuff to literally fucking a governor and all that. Like, she screwed her way to popularity through the movie. And you're watching it, you're like, Jesus. She screwed one guy, used his connections to screw the next guy, used his connections to screw the next guy. It was ridiculous as
You know what's
hell.
funny about this whole situation, Al? It's like, and how many times, like, you'll read that anytime a guy, because it's always a guy, especially in a situation where he's the most popular one, and they'll say stuff like, well, you know, I think we should have prenup. People always jump down his throat, like, why would you say, you know, you want a prenup for, and like, what do you think, this isn't going to fucking last? And like, well, it didn't last.
Here's the thing, right? When you're wealthy, women are attracted to you because of your status and your wealth.
Yep.
Like, that's a fact. There's no way around that. So you could lie to yourself and you could say, oh no, I want to meet somebody and I just want to connect and I want to be in love and I want to have, and that's fine to want that. But if you have money and power and status, that is going to attract a certain type of woman. And that when those women come in, they're going to pretend in every way, nah, that's not why I'm here. I'm here for you. I love you. But if you take away all that, she'll bail. Like, that's just a fact. Like, you need a prenup. As any man that has money that comes into it, especially if you're marrying a woman that doesn't have her own, like if you're wealthy and you're marrying a wealthy woman, she'll understand a prenup, right? If you have money and she has money, she'll understand the prenup. It'll make sense to her.
Yeah.
But if he has money and she doesn't, she won't understand the prenup. She'll argue against it. Oh, this is supposed to be about love. It's not about money. We don't need a prenup. If it's about love and it's not about money, then why do you have an issue signing a prenup? Like, you should have no problem signing a prenup if it isn't about the money.
Yeah, so what's your thoughts on this since you're the only woman here?
Honestly, if I were to marry a rich man, which I'm probably never going to do.
Johnny Depp is saying no.
You're definitely not, because we're getting married soon.
Yes.
And I am not rich by any stretch of the imagination, so welcome to life.
Babies.
Longhorn will disagree with you on that. Anyhow.
He could try.
Death match.
Anyhow, if I were to marry a man and he looked at me and he had, like, an inordinate amount of money and, like, possessions of any kind that meant, like, something along those lines, and he said to me, hey, just, not that I think you would do this, but just to be on the safe side, I myself personally, I would sign the fucking prenup. Just because it protects me, it protects him.
Well, you know what? Let's look at it from the point of view of, what if you were the one that had the money? What if you were the one that were
then
wealthy?
I would draw up a prenup.
And nobody would question it. Like if I'm marrying a woman who has money, and she said, "I want to sign a prenup,"
the situation's the same no matter what. Like,
yeah, but people will look at it differently because if it's a woman with money and the man doesn't have money and she wants a prenup, like everybody's going to be like, yeah, that makes perfect sense. She should protect her money and this and this and that. But
and a man should have that same right.
A man should too, but the problem becomes whenever a man says sign this prenup, everybody is offended. Like how many times have you heard, oh, this basketball player wanted a prenup and this woman went crazy? As a matter of fact, that happened recently. That happened like within the last couple of months. I want to say like earlier, sometime within this year.
Then clearly that shows all she's with him for is
the money.
His money.
Exactly. This is my conclusion, but
yeah, I was like,
I'm the asshole when I say it out loud.
I was read through the fucking comment section. Some people are like, well, he didn't get a prenup, he deserved this, or it's like fucking. It's
that's the fucked up shit.
It's his fault, or blah blah blah.
At the same
it's
point
like, go fuck
in
yourselves.
time, though, if you marry someone, sometimes people just don't think about that due to the fact that they believe that they are truly in love,
and that's
nothing's going to happen. So on and so forth. And then when shit hits the fan and they find out who the hell they're really married to, it's like they're kind of fucked.
That's messed up. Yeah, but it's like
Elliot, can you do me a favor?
Basically, it's $50 million.
One of them sodas off the floor.
$50 million. So, yep.
You need one, Chris?
I'm good.
Sure.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
So, even though I know you have one.
No.
So,
Okay.
yeah, we'll see what happens with them. But yeah.
Money fucking brings out the worst in people.
Yeah.
Money is the source of all types of evil.
And that's a fucking problem. It's like what people, and this is, we'll mention this forever. It's like what's different between moral fucking standards and like anything. Like, I mean, it's like Jen. If Jen told me that she met some guy and she divorced him, she got paid $10 million. Would part of me like happy for her? Like, hey, Jen. Part of me is just like would say great on the $10 million payday. Part of me is also like you're kind of a fucking piece of shit for doing that. Like you just married him just so you can get a fucking payday. Like it's just so. Or like I said, I've seen it in the past. Some of these women who marry these fucking men, they want having a kid by this guy. They get some like what was it, Mick Jagger at one point? His one ex-wife wanted like $800,000 a month in child support. Like seriously? Like I mean,
$800,000 a month.
Or it's some insane number like that. I'm like, how much? Like it takes that much to raise a kid? Like it
does not.
Fucking asshole. What's
crazy? The sad part is the court system is kind of fucked up in that way because they'll look at a guy if he's paying a certain amount of money and then say he has 2 jobs and then say he loses a job and he goes to the courthouse and he says to him flat out, hey, like I literally lost one of my jobs, like can the child support be like reduced because of that? And they'll look at the guy and go, no, you need to either get a pay raise, find another job, or whatever, because that child's used to living that sort of lifestyle.
Yeah.
Which is fucked up if the guy is actually paying child support and taking care of their child. When there are a lot of guys out there that fucking suck and don't do shit.
The fucked up thing about that is that this is the stance that the court always takes, right? The court is always going to say
they're always going to be on the mother's side no matter what.
Well, that's true, but the way they're going to phrase it is they're going to take the stance of whatever the child needs is where they stand the most. So
yes,
it's kind of crazy though, because if this guy can't, regardless of what the child is accustomed to, if the guy can't meet that standard, you've got to adjust the payment. But they won't. A lot of times they just don't. They'll tell you, we hold you accountable for making sure that this lifestyle is maintained, regardless of whatever you got to do, make it happen. Which is kind of crazy to me, but that's what they do. I was reading. I had this crazy conversation with a friend of mine. I was reading this article, and we were discussing it, and talked about this guy who was married to this woman, and the woman had a kid with another man, and the guy got stuck paying child support because he signed
the birth
certificate, right?
Yeah.
And then there was a very similar situation with a different guy who the guy was married to the woman. He didn't sign the birth certificate, but it wasn't because he didn't want to. It's just, I forgot I don't remember what led up to him not signing it, but they were married. And when you're married, the court makes the assumption that the child is yours. If you're married to a woman and the child is born, the court makes the assumption that you're the father, right?
Okay.
Regardless of whatever is going on. So in that situation, both those guys got screwed by women who had children by other people, and they got stuck paying the child support, and there was nothing they could do to get out of it. And the one guy who, after the DNA test was done, the guy that signed the birth certificate, after the DNA test was done, and he verified that biologically the kid isn't his, the court didn't give a fuck. And they told him, signing the birth certificate is the equivalent of adopting a child. And once you sign this legally binding document, this child is illegally now yours.
Wow.
Like, you can fight against it, but you have got to jump through a lot of fucking hoops. It's hard to do.
It's kind of fucked up because I had a friend that happened to, too.
Yeah. And it was crazy because they told him, when you sign this birth certificate, the child is legally yours.
Yeah.
And regardless of if biologically it belongs to somebody else, you're legally the father and you have to take care of the child. And the court sides with the child. Like, this child has to be taken care of by the parent that agreed to take care of it, regardless of if it's not your child. But you signed it, so it's yours. And then he ended up having to do a whole bunch of shit. And the way he got out of it was he forced the mother to actually track down the guy who was the kid's biological father, to take the DNA test to verify it's him, and then to have him claim rights as parent. In order for him to get out of paying for this kid. That's what he had to do. Like, if that guy was a dirtbag and he was like, nah, fuck that, I don't want nothing to do with it, that dude would have been stuck paying these fucking bills for the rest for like the next 18, 19, 20 years. Because his wife was a dirt merchant.
And that's what's all fucking grimy about the whole situation is no one ever looks at the woman as being the pure scumbag because it was like I was saying, as the guy's standpoint, like, you know, not that I hate this baby, but it's not my baby. And, like, you need to find the fucking guy. Now, if the real father's a fucking dirtbag, now you're telling yourself that I'm not going to pay for a kid that isn't mine, but then, like, say the real father wants nothing to fucking do with this kid, so then if you want nothing to do with this kid, so what happens? This poor little fucking kid is, like, 1 year old, 2 years old, knows no father because you're a fucking slut.
You know, this is the thing, this is the fucked up thing that people don't...
there are some guys who, in that certain situation... It's like they'd look at it and be like, you know what? I'll step up. It's
I know, but
some guys would,
but they shouldn't have to though.
And here's the thing: if you're a guy that wants to step up, it's fine. I won't knock a guy for doing that because that's commendable. As a man that's willing to say, "This isn't my kid, but I'm gonna do what's necessary." That's amazing.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm the kind of guy that's gonna say, "I wanted to have kids with you, and you chose to go outside the relationship and have a baby with somebody else." And in my mind, that's like you blatantly saying, fuck me. So why should I now raise the offspring of another man? He got to come in here and have fun and now has none of the responsibility. And me that wanted to have kids with you, I have the responsibility of a child that's not mine. I'm not doing it. I am not interested. And I don't care what anybody says. I'm just not doing it. I will be out. Dude, I would walk, like if I was with a girl and she got pregnant, and then the child is born, we do a DNA test, and it's not mine. The minute I find out the kid is not mine, I'm out the door. I'm out. There's no discussion to be had. There's nothing you're going to say to me that in my head is going to make it be like, oh, okay, that's fine. Like nothing. You're not, I'm gone. Because that's like the fucking, like how fucking cold-blooded would you have to be to like straight up and down have another man's child knowing that you got a man at home that wants a family with you? Like that's some cold-blooded shit.
Yeah, it really is.
think about it from the aspect of it's the one thing a woman could do that a man could never do. Like if I'm married to a woman and I go out and get another girl pregnant, it's fucked up if I gotta come home and tell my wife, yo, I'm sorry I did this to you. I didn't mean to hurt you, but I got this girl pregnant. I understand you don't want to be with me anymore. I fucked up our family and that's my bad. I gotta live with that. But the difference with a woman is she could fucking come home and tell you this kid is yours. A man could never walk in the door with a baby and tell his wife, this is your baby.
Exactly.
Like, no man could do that. Like, a woman could do that to you. A woman could tell you, well, this is your son. And...
Not in this country, they can't.
They can, because they still do. Like, it's at the point where I watch, like, I watch Paternity Court. Oh, and God. 90% of the time on Paternity Court.
Not in this country can a man walk into a woman's house and say, this is your baby.
They can't do it anywhere. Like, you can't do that shit. Like, because if a woman, like, in order for a woman to have a baby, she's got to become pregnant and go through 9 months and then go through labor. Like, I can't.
That's not what I mean. Like, if a guy gets, say he's in, like, a different country than this. Like, one of the ones where women have, like, no rights whatsoever type, and they're not progressive.
I want to move there.
You know, women are treated like, basically, the scum
like garbage.
Industry. Yeah. So say the husband gets a woman pregnant, gets the baby, brings it home, to his wife and says, "Hey, guess what? Now you're a mother."
Well, he could do that, but biologically, she knows that's not her offspring.
Yeah, but now she's stuck raising some other woman's
Well,
child.
yeah, but here,
Yeah.
Here in America, that would never
but
happen.
this is the thing. But the point I was making is that in terms of biology, no man could do it. Because even if I come home, like even if I'm married to Sue and me and Sue live in a Middle Eastern country, and I come home with a kid and say, Sue, you now got to raise this kid.
There are so many things wrong with that.
You would have to raise.
We are never getting married.
You would have to raise the
never
kid.
going to the Middle East.
You would have to raise the kid regardless of knowing that it's not your
Fuck,
offspring.
I will.
Like even if they know it's not their offspring, you still gotta raise the kid.
Yeah.
Right?
I will shove that child down your throat
in
and
terms
watch you
of
choke. I will.
in terms of biology,
down.
there is no man that could walk into a house anywhere on this planet with a kid and convince the mother that you had this kid. You were pregnant for 9 months and you went through labor and you gave birth to this.
Ow.
If she
You
was in a
can't.
coma.
I'm pretty sure I can. Did she just wake up from a coma?
I was just about to say that.
Sue just has.
Like, well, listen.
Throw the baby at her.
If you,
Like,
get a
it's
woman,
yours.
if you get a woman in a coma pregnant, you're facing a whole different set of problems. Like you got
She
different
was
issues.
pregnant when she went into the coma.
Yeah.
She's been in a coma for 9 months.
You missed the question, Sue. Like, listen, if I offered you a baby covered in mayo chop, are you gonna eat it? Like,
It's possible.
$350 for how many? How much weight is this?
If we're talking about a pig baby or a chicken baby,
this baby may or may not be yours, but it's covered in mayo chop. You got a decision to make here.
but in all honesty, that's some shit that
I know.
men don't get to do, and women get to tell that lie, and they get to live that lie. Like
For 9 months,
if a
you
man
live that lie.
if a man never because some people actually
Or 18
raise those
years.
raise those children for a long time, and a lot of times it'll be something like they get into an argument and she gets mad and she'll just be like, oh well, the kid ain't yours anyway. Like that's happened before where this motherfucker was raising a child that wasn't his, and then after a
That or
DNA
like-
test, now he's out. Now it's out in the open.
That or something like random, like if the kid has like medical problems and like the parents both need to like be tested to see where it came from.
Yeah.
Like
and how,
then that hurts even worse.
and how fucked up would it be if you're in the hospital and they run your blood type, your wife's blood type, and your kid's blood type, and then the doctor comes out to you while you're standing in the fucking waiting room and be like, well, can we get the kid's father to come in
You mean
so we
like-
can run like, and you're like, wait a minute.
You mean
I'm
like
here, no,
American Dad? When the daughter's kidney blew out and she needed a kidney, it's like, who's the father? Oh, Stan, I wasn't completely honest with you. The night before we got married, it's like, you dirty whore.
But imagine that shit happens in real life. Like,
Yeah,
that,
oh, yeah.
Like it happens where women get to like lie and say this is your kid when it's not.
Yeah.
Right? And you, like men don't get to do that.
And we've talked about that before. It's like I
And that's
can't.
crazy. That's insane.
I truly can't imagine what I would have done if
I would bail, dude. I would bail because, like I said, if you're dating a woman and she comes up pregnant, obviously you guys were either attempting to make a baby or you were at the space where we're not trying, but whatever happens, happens, right? So it's like in your head, I definitely want to have babies with this woman.
That's what happened to me.
I want to have
Best
kids.
part right there is making that baby.
Well, that's the thing. In your head, it's like, I want to make babies with this woman. But she goes out and has babies by another guy. And this other guy gets the benefit of creating the baby, but none of the responsibility of taking care of and raising the baby. And like, why should that fall on me? Like, if I wanted to have babies with you, but you decided not to have my baby, why the fuck would I stick around to raise a baby that belongs to somebody else? Like, it doesn't make sense in my
Why
head.
wouldn't you want the better genetics?
Like, if that, but here's the thing.
I mean, in Junior's case, like, if Molly went out and got pregnant by another man,
Did he have
Like-
long, silky hair? Yeah. Well, he turned out better.
Here's the
he
thing
fat?
with that.
was he inconvenient?
Was he going bald? At his early
Like, he would need to know these things. And, like, when finding out that the man was in every way, shape, or form better than Junior,
Jesus
but a
Christ.
deadbeat.
You don't see this shit when he's here.
Listen,
Because
the
when
thing
he's
about
here,
that
we're
is-
on a truce.
I know. A three-tooth raptor is all I can think.
You say, Al?
the thing about that is this: if you want to have kids, as a woman, you have the right to choose whoever your baby father is going to be.
true.
Like, you could make a choice on whoever you want to have kids with. So if in your mind, if you're in a place where I'm attracted to this guy and I want to have his kids, then do that. But don't be in a relationship telling this guy the kid is yours when the reality is I would much rather have this guy's kids.
Yeah.
Like if you want to be a single mother and you want to make that choice, that's fine. You could do that in 2020. It's perfectly okay.
Yeah.
If you don't want to be in a relationship with this person, that's fine. Like whatever you want to do, it's fine to do it, but just be upfront about it. Because if I'm going to tell you this is the honest to God's truth. If I spend 20 years raising a kid and then I come to find out at this kid's like college graduation that he's not my kid, I'm probably going to shoot his mother in the face. Like, and it's going to be one of them things where I don't even want to kill her. I just want to blow the cheek off her fucking face so she can walk around with a big old fucking scar forever. Understand that the reason that happened to you is because you're a fucking dirt merchant. Like, why would you do some shit like this? Like, why would you do some bullshit like this? That's insane. Like, that's the kind of shit that people don't get over. Like, I would never get over that shit.
Life advice without.
I did find the official. When Mick Jagger was 72, his girlfriend was 27. But when she had the baby, he decided he didn't want to marry her. So he's going to be paying her $15,000 a month in addition to...
She's happy.
In addition to buying her a house of her choice. And he said by the time the child reaches 18, he's going to spend over $3 million in child support.
If he's still alive.
Yeah.
And top of, his estate will take care of
His
that.
estate will still pay it, regardless if he's alive.
But he said that she can pick whatever house she wants. So
essentially, her house is bought and paid for, and she's collecting $15,000 a month. She never has to work a day in her life. The only time she would need a job is just to get medical benefits. But with $15,000 a month coming in free and clear, why would you?
Or if she's stuffing more drugs in her body than she can handle.
Yeah. Well, just saying 15 fucking
you'd have
grand
to
a
be
month.
on some pretty hardcore.
But- and
That's ridiculous.
This is the fucking problem.
Mick Jagger in the first
That
place.
kid needs $1,000 at best for diapers.
What's I'm saying? This is
formula,
what
wipe and all that. 15.
And this is why fucking these judges and these fucking lawyers always do this shit. Well, he's got that kind of money. I'm like, listen, I don't give a shit if Mick Jagger's worth $1 million or $10 billion. It's the fucking principle. If when you do shit like this, you set a bad precedent because this is what always happens. Yes, Mick Jagger can afford this kind of money. Average Joe Blow, who's working fucking 2 or 3 jobs and is living paycheck to paycheck, he can't afford when you like. And Sue's seen this. I've seen it myself. It's like, oh, Chris, well, you got to pay X amount of dollars per week. And I'm like, well, right now I'm working between jobs. I got out of prison and I can't afford so and so. What's not our fucking problem? I was like, well, I literally can't afford my own apartment. I have to move in with my mother, and you want me to pay like $120 a month? Like it's a week. It's fucking insanity.
That's why I kind of laugh at all this stuff. They cry that they're the victim. How are you the victim? You're the one who got fucked.
No, it's almost like to Al said. It's like you can sit there if you're slick enough or smart enough or lucky enough, you can find a random guy who's worth X amount of money, and just by spreading your fucking legs, you're guaranteed a paycheck.
But
and guys can't do that.
There was a point in time where there was a sting that was uncovered where there are women who would sleep with athletes, football players, basketball players, and they would keep the condoms, and they would spend, like, people would spend money for these condoms. They would spend upwards of like $30,000 to $40,000 to buy a used condoms of an athlete so that they could get themselves pregnant. And then when they hit this athlete with this fucking paternity suit, and this athlete is like, I've never seen this woman in my life. Who the fuck is this? And then they do a DNA test, and it's his kid. And it's wild. That shit happened to 3 different athletes. Yeah. And then before they uncovered that shit was happening.
Yeah.
Where women were like selling, women would have sex with an athlete, and then somebody would pay her like thousands of dollars for a used condom. And these chicks would just be like, yo, I have this child.
Or what about when she provides the condom and it fucking has holes in it?
That's a chick that has a plan. Like, some girls don't want to be pregnant. They just want to make a quick hustle. Some girls want to be pregnant because they want to get that money. Like, but that shit is insane. Like, consider how crazy that is, where a woman can straight up and down be like, I'm going to have Chris Edwards' kid because he's a millionaire, and Chris has never seen this bitch before.
Yeah.
I found this website. I just typed this in. This says, here's the headline. Woman sells athlete's bodily fluid to friend who later impregnates herself.
It happens. They uncovered an entire fucking
man, that is fucking dark.
This shit is wild.
Which shows that there's a lot of fucked up stuff behind the scenes.
Check out the story below. True story. Man lays down with a woman. He uses a condom. Later on, another woman that he'd never met before comes up to him about a year later and says, "This is your child. I want child support." He never had met this woman. He didn't know who she was, and he'd never seen her a day in his life. They gave him a DNA test, and the child that was a match, it was his baby. What happened was, the woman who slept with the man kept the condom that he threw in the garbage. She got the condom out of the garbage, and then she sold the semen and the condom to another woman after she had apparently kept it in some sort of sterile package. So she sold it to a friend of hers, and the friend then injected the semen inside of her, and she got pregnant. Then she takes the baby and sends the baby down to her grandparents to have them raise the child. They get paid on a monthly basis for raising the child, and she gets paid on a monthly basis from child support, and she splits those hefty payments between her and the grandparents. True story, and this happens, and it's real.
Now listen to how crazy this is.
That's fucking.
Let me tell you what's even worse about that.
Almighty, man.
What's worse about that is that it's not fucking illegal to do.
Yeah.
It's not illegal to do. And you know why? Because the argument that was made was, once he ejaculates his semen and discards the condom, he could no longer claim it as his personal property. So anybody could rifle through the garbage, grab that condom, and impregnate themselves and say, hey, you're not a father. Wow. That shit is insane.
Here's one. Did a hotel cleaner who stole sperm from a used condom win child support? ? I'll read this white talk.
I was going to say, but men are the one keeping everyone else down, right? ?
Yep.
On November 9th, 2019, the website ilhalia.com published an article posting that a Las Vegas hotel cleaner won child support from a millionaire after impregnating herself with sperm from a used condom she stole from the trash in his hotel room. Wow.
It's wild.
A 48-year-old Las Vegas hotel cleaner won a child support battle against a 28-year-old millionaire who she never slept with. She was 36 when she stole a condom from a then 24-year-old tech millionaire's hotel garbage can. She inserted the semen inside her vagina and became pregnant with a baby boy who is now 4 years old. That's fucking...
See, that's the definition of a fucking monster.
No,
That's just as bad as, like, the black market selling of organs.
That's fucked up.
You literally just birthed this child for a fucking paycheck.
Wow.
You don't care about this kid. You're like, I stole all this shit, got myself pregnant. You're a paycheck. As long as you're alive, I make money. I hate you, you piece of shit lie, but I love those paychecks, so what matters more? She's gonna keep that kid safe to get all those double or triple.
The fact that these women don't get fucking... You should get a fucking... You should get like a 25 fucking years prison sentence for that shit.
And you know, people... there were a lot of scenarios where people were angry about it, but they couldn't find a reason to arrest the woman. Like, because if you discard garbage and I go take that garbage up, you can't call it a theft.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like it wasn't stolen. Like, it's like the argument that was made when this guy got arrested, and I think he got 12 years in jail because his girlfriend got pregnant, and he gave her basically a version of the morning after pill and forced an abortion, and they arrested him for he got 12 years in jail. And I was like, the shit bothered me for this reason. Like, I'm not saying what he did was right. I'm not even condoning it. No excuse for it. She wanted the baby. He didn't want the baby. He forced the abortion. The baby died. It's a fucked up thing. But my problem with everybody making a big deal about it is they're essentially saying that as a woman, she has the right to kill the baby because it's in her body. But he doesn't have the right to have any say. When this happened, this guy met this girl. This girl told this guy that she couldn't have kids. Yeah. She ended up getting pregnant because he was taking no precautions. And they had the conversation several times where he told her, I don't want to be a father. Not right now. I got a lot of shit going on. He was in he was in medical school. His father was a practitioner of medicine. His father had his own medical practice. The guy was going to college going to medical school. The girl, when he met the girl, he told her, I don't want to have any kids now, because that's going to ruin my plans. I got everything set on a path. Yeah. She said, oh, I can't get pregnant. You don't have to worry about it. So now this dude is all skeeting in her all willy-nilly because he feels like she's not going to ever get pregnant. Boom, she turns up pregnant. He's like, well, have an abortion. No, I'm going to have the baby. Yeah. And you're going to pay child support because he comes from a good, wealthy family or whatever. Yeah. So he goes to his father and he lies to his father. He tells his father that she wants to have the abortion. So his father prescribes medication to abort the baby. Yeah. He goes back to her and he lies to her and tells her this is probiotics or whatever the fuck they call it. It's not probiotics, but like something to help the baby develop.
Prebiotics.
I don't even know what it's called. I forgot what it's called. But he lied to her and told her that it was this thing to help the baby. She took it and it aborted the baby. She got all bent out of shape about it, and she went to the police, and they hit him with a murder charge. Right now, I'm sitting here and I'm scratching my head because the law for abortion states that if the baby isn't within a certain amount of terms, then the abortion is legal because it's not a legal life. Now, there are many debates that could be had on when life begins, at conception, at a certain whatever. That's a whole different argument. The argument that I'm making is if she decided that she wanted to have the abortion, it would have been no problem. There would be no murder charge. Yeah. But because he decided to abort the baby, now I understand, not saying he's right, not saying what he did was the right thing, but I'm saying how could you justify charging him for murder for doing something that if she had done would not have been murder? Right? How do you justify that? Because he didn't attempt to hurt her in any way. The shit that he gave her only did one thing. It aborted the baby. Now, granted, she wanted to have the baby and he denied that to her. But how many times have women done that? How many times has there been a man that wanted to be a father and a woman will say, it's my body, I'm not doing it. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And he has no say in the matter. So they justify, like, I was like, how do you make sense? Because if it's a murder charge for him, if he gives her something that aborts the baby, it caused no damage to her, it doesn't hurt her in any way, the only thing it did is aborted her baby. How can you justify giving him a murder charge? But if she had made the decision, if she had done it, it would have been perfectly fine. Oh, you're right. And people are saying, well, it's her body, it should be her choice. But how far are we going to push that narrative? Because she couldn't have gotten pregnant by herself. Like, if she was able to just wake up one morning like, I want to have a baby today, and boom, she's pregnant, I would have been fine. I hit him with a murder charge because he fucking killed that baby for no reason. But the reason he had is because his DNA is tied to that baby. He expressly said, I don't want to be a father. And she lied and said, I can't get pregnant. And then when she got pregnant, she decided, I'm keeping the baby and you're going to be responsible. Yeah, it's fucked up. You're going to pay child support. These were the words she said to him. Like, I read that article so many times. And every time I read it, every time I came to the part where he actually got convicted and got sentenced to 12 years in jail, every time I get to that part, it makes me cringe because I'm like, how do you justify this? Like I said, I always make this statement in the beginning. I'm not saying what he did was right, but understand if he's wrong and if that's murder for him doing it, then abortion is murder, period. Exactly. Like there's no argument you can make and tell me, well, she wanted to have the baby and he forced an abortion, so it's wrong. Yeah. Well, if I wanted to have the baby and she did the abortion, why is that not wrong? Yeah. Why is it not wrong? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it.
I hate that, like, there's females out there, like, I mean, I'm not going to speak from a female perspective, but some women feel like, well, it's going to tear apart my body. In all reality, how many women have kids and they bounce back just fine? If you feel that heavily, you don't want this kid, fine. Have the kid, have the fucking pregnancy, and the second that kid is born, give it to the father who wants this baby, and sign all your fucking rights away, and you never have to see this kid for the rest of your life.
And this is my thing. My thing is this, right? If you're so concerned about what a pregnancy is going to do to your body, then why the fuck are you out here getting pregnant? Like, why are you out here just fucking having unprotected, sex? Like, why are you out here fucking getting pregnant? If you don't want to be pregnant,
because pregnancy. Yes, there are some women. You can't say every pregnancy is the same. Some women get stretch marks, some women don't.
I'm not even saying every pregnancy is the same. Like, I wouldn't even go as far as to say all women get pregnant under the right circumstances. Yeah. There are women out there who get raped and get pregnant. There are women out there who, go out to a party, gets drunk, and fucking some dude takes advantage, and she wakes up like whatever. I'm saying, if you make a decision, well, yeah, but if you make the decision, if you're in a relationship, like if I'm in a relationship with a woman and she's telling me she can't get pregnant, so my guard is down and I'm taking no precautions, and then she ends up pregnant, and I say we have the express conversation of, yo, I don't want to be a father right now because I have a career goal, a plan in place that I'm following, and this is going to offset everything. And you're making the decision of not only are you going to have the baby, but you're definitely going to put me on child support. Like, you are letting me know in advance that you're planning to fuck my life up. Yeah. Right? So, of course, I'm going to panic, and I'll probably do what he did. I probably would get you the fucking morning after pill. Like, and I would lie to your face like, yeah, it's fucking, vitamins or whatever the fuck he told her it was. Exactly. Right? And I'm not going to feel bad about forcing this abortion because at the end of the day, it wasn't attempted murder. He wasn't trying to hurt her. He didn't do anything to her. What he did is aborted the baby. Like, I get it. I get that if you want a baby, it's a fucked up feeling when it's denied to you. I get that. It's bad for men. It's bad for women.
We shouldn't have lied.
But I don't get why he gets the murder charge. Because if abortion is legal, right? And I'm not going to make the pro or the for or against abortion argument because that's a whole separate argument. But if you're living somewhere where abortion is legal, how can you justify hitting this guy with a charge that if she had done it, it would have been fine? I just don't get it. I need somebody to break that down and explain it to me, and I don't want to hear.
It's just
I don't want to hear that it's her body, her choice bullshit.
The constant double-edged standard we live with a society, and like I was saying to Alan soon, it's just like, I'm not saying every pregnancy is the same, but the point is some women feel like, well, I don't want to have a kid because it's going to do X to my body. You can't control that. Some women have a kid and they bounce back just fine. You can't sit there and say, well, if I have a baby, I'm going to get like stretch marks. I'm going to get like, this scars, this and that. But like I was saying, if you were that concerned about what's going to do to your quote unquote body, then why aren't you on a fucking pill?
Exactly. Be on a pill. Fucking use condoms. Take every precaution not to be pregnant. Like, it's a lot of... This is why... And that's another thing that bothers me. This is a whole... Like, for men, the only thing we have is condoms and pull-out. Like, we can either put a condom on it. If we don't want a condom, we could pull out. Yeah. Women, there are so many different ways for them to never get pregnant. And yet still, there are women out there getting pregnant and going and having an abortion. Like, it doesn't make sense. It's so much easier to just not get pregnant.
Yeah.
Like, there's 1,000 ways for you not to.
There are times, though, where a woman is on birth control and the birth control can fail, though.
Well, yeah.
But condom and spermicide are like a backup plan.
But those are situations that's accidents that can happen.
I'm saying, if you're actively trying not to get pregnant and then you get pregnant and you say, I'm going to have an abortion, I wouldn't even argue with you. I'd say nothing because I get it. You didn't want to have a kid. Your fucking attempts at prophylactics failed, and now you're pregnant and you want to have an abortion. Okay, fine. Then it makes sense to me. But if you're out here just every dude on the corner could get to run through it raw, and then you pop up pregnant and every 3 days you're fucking in Planned Parenthood having abortions, you're a fucking monster. Like, you're a monster. Like, that's like, what are you doing? Like, there's so many ways to not get pregnant. But then the worst is when a guy wants the baby and a woman is just like, nah, I'm aborting this kid. Regardless of you wanting a kid, I'm just gonna... That shit is the worst.
Yeah. I actually popped this up out while you're talking because this happened last podcast and I wanted to I didn't fact check because we're talking, but like I actually did type up about rapists, like you were saying before, the rapists and parental custody. They said, it says it depends on the state. But that was, to me, that's a wild concept. I decided to fact check that just to show it up like what states, but like they're not going over what states, but there are. This woman wrote this big article back in 2019. We're saying that he raped her and he tried getting fucking custody of their kid after raping her, and she decided to give. That's fucking.
You know how wild that is. Like as a woman having to go through like as a man, we'll never understand that.
No,
a woman that has been raped by a dude and then she got pregnant and she's like, it's not the baby's fault, so I'm not having an abortion. I'm going to have the kid. He doesn't deserve to be murdered just because his father's a fucking monster. Yeah. And then she has the kid, and this jackass comes back like, oh, I raped you, I violated you against your will, and you had my baby, and now I want to violate you against your will one more time. Because now I want fucking custody. Like, that's... Like, I would be on her side 100% if she pulled the gun and shot him in the face. Like, I'd be like, nah, she doesn't deserve jail time.
This is right from USA Today.
Like, that's insane to me. Like, that's wild.
Makes no sense.
That's what I'm saying.
That actually happened in a Lifetime movie. A girl was raped by her stepfather.
It's funny is like we can all joke about this, and I have honestly, but like Lifetime, you can bust balls, but like
they do cover a wide variety.
It's definitely targeted more towards women, obviously, but like a lot of Lifetime, I'd say maybe half, if not 75%. A lot of that stuff is based on real life shit. Maybe to us guys, like of course us guys, we want to watch John Wick and stuff and fucking Arnold movies and shit. And like Lifetime is more girly in a sense, but like when you watch them films, those come from a true deep dark fucking place. It's like, I've actually watched a couple Lifetime films. I'm like, you know what? I watched them. I was like, imagine if this happened in real life. Then you Google stuff. Fuck, this did happen in real life. Yeah. You're like, oh shit.
It went down in real life.
Well, like what was that? I want to look up the R. Kelly. Like, wasn't that Lifetime? That R. Kelly documentary or the fucking Lifetime movie?
It was on Lifetime.
Yeah.
You know,
Actually, I'm gonna type it up right now.
You know what I feel bad about? I'll hear about something that happened, researched it, like, holy shit, this is true. But then I'll always say, what would have happened if the roles were reversed?
Yeah, it's Surviving R. Kelly. It's from Lifetime.
Yeah.
I do it to watch that shit. Fuck. It's like, for me, yeah, it's gonna be hard to watch it because I heard about how fucked up it is. Like, because Al was mentioning it, but not even like before even Al talked about it. Like, yeah, it's.
No, but like other stuff on that, like the 20-something-year-old woman who had sex with that 14-year-old boy multiple times. I can't help but think if the roles were reversed, we would want that 20-something-year-old man fucking killed in the middle of the streets. They have been on the past,
at least, I'm going to say 5 years maybe, though. These women are getting legit prison time, which is finally coming around to that. It's. I notice when it comes to any kind of legal shit, especially in this fucking country, like, it takes a long time for fucking things to...
I want equal, not legal. I want equal. Like, if you're going to give a man 20-plus years for doing this terrible things multiple times to someone underage, do the same to a female. And if you're going to go with the, but she didn't know what... No, she knew what she was getting into.
She knew better, probably, than the
Yeah. And... You know, we're all about equality, right? You know, treat women equal. Why is it if a woman punches a man in the face and a man punches her back, the man's in the wrong? But, because he's stronger.
I'm not defending that, but just like this, in history, it's always been because of like size difference. You know, that's why it's
cops in live PD. You'll hear about a guy calling the cops like, "Yeah, my girlfriend hit me. Oh, did you hit her back? Yeah, because she kept hitting me," and he goes to jail.
Even me, because I was the only boy in the family, but Dad taught me and Grandpa and like every male figure in my life said, Chris, you don't hit women. But also, I was the oldest. I had younger sisters, but as time went by and I more matured from that, I do understand, yes, I still don't want to hit a girl, but if she pulls out a taser or pepper spray or machete, I'm going to knock her the fuck out because I'm not going to like spend 6 months in the emergency room because you're a psycho. Like, yes, I shouldn't be beating women, but this is the problem. Knowing everything in our society, it's not based on balance. It's based on extremes.
Exactly. Well, not just that,
it's like the whole thing is like, don't hit a woman, period. No, no, don't hit a woman, don't beat a woman, don't beat your girlfriend. But I can never say I'm never going to hit a girl because you pull out a fucking Magnum or a 9mm or a shotgun, I'm beating the fuck out of you. I'm sorry, I'm not losing my life because of some bullshit moral code of like women are not physically as strong as us. Like,
yeah, but I've seen a lot of things on Cops and Live PD where I believe I saw this one where this man planned to kidnap his ex with the girl he was with at that point in time.
Yeah.
They got the van because one of the neighbors called it. His ex-girlfriend was literally chained in the back of the van to the van. This man got life without the possibility of parole because he's like, yeah, I would do this again. And the girlfriend got like some bullshit charge of, I think, between 5 and 10 years. I'm like, wait a second. She willingly helped this man kidnap this woman to force her to marry him. He's getting life behind bars, and she's getting a bullshit charge. No, they were both in this together. Charge them both with the same thing.
I mean, I can't.
Totally going. I'm going backwards to the old shit I was just talking about. I just found the fucking article. I'm about to send it to your phone right now. With the guy that he actually got 14 years. I thought it was 12, but it was actually 14 years.
What? So I was just about to say, like, it's like I can't comment on every other nation, every other country's laws. I just know that, like, it seems like America, there's a lot of damn sure fucking bias, whether it's about females, whether it's about the color of your skin. It seems like other countries, it's like their laws are fucked up, but it seems like they're equally, they treat all their citizens the same.
Yeah.
It's like their laws, because I pulled this article up, I listened to a podcast today by this guy Ralph, and Susan knows Ralph and YouTube from Hollywood Babylon.
Yeah.
But he was mentioning Singapore, and Singapore, I've never been there. I heard it's a beautiful place, but he was mentioning certain things I never knew about. Like, I didn't know about that. Singapore, if you spit in public, that's illegal.
Yeah.
And they actually have, I'm looking this up right now. This says Singapore.
Well, that's like back in the 90s, that guy they caned him to death because of the fact.
Really? Wow.
Something.
I didn't know that.
I forget exactly what he did. I was a little kid at the time.
You said the 90s? 90s.
There's also the guy who got beat and had his ass bloodied and bruised before sent back to America for doing something. Weird Al made a song about it.
This is, okay. June 27, 1994. Teenager caned in Singapore tells of the blood and the scars, but he's still alive, though.
Yeah, that's the one I believe. Like, he came back with,
Okay, yes, I'm...
Yeah, because I think it was some sort of vandalism. I'm not 100%, but
Cool.
that's why I say, when you go to another country, learn their laws, because just because you're an American, that doesn't mean shit in other parts of the world. If you curse at police or people of authority, that definition varies from place to place.
Why want to get Kai's boyfriend down here because of shit that he's told me? I won't talk to him in, little tidbits.
I'm afraid because if even 20% of the things that I've heard, now I say I heard because on the internet anyone can say they're from this location or that location and things are this bad. I knew a chick she referred to herself as CBC, Chinese-born Canadian. And I was like, okay, well, what does that mean? She's like, well, my family sold me off to this other dude. I'm like, are you fucking serious? I'm like, that's illegal here. She's like, you're in America. I'm in Canada. We don't suffer the same rules. I'm like, God damn, I feel so bad for you. She's like, well, he's texting me right now that I have to meet him. I have to go. I'm like, well, I hope I play this game with you again later on. Never heard from her again. From what I've heard, he found out that she was talking to another man who disagreed with him. Beat the shit out of her. And I'm like, then my account in the game got hacked. I'm like, you motherfucker. I'm like, does anyone know what happened? They're like, yeah, this dude was talking shit. I'm like, I don't know if it's true or not, but this was at least 13 years ago when all this, technology was still kind of mundane and medieval.
What happened to him? This was back in 1994. It was teenager Michael Fay, and just part of I'll get into the Singapore thing. He was spray painting cars, and in Singapore, if you deface any kind of public property or do graffiti, they will cane you.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to.
Yeah,
that's the same one I heard about.
This says the importance of discipline. Singaporeans place an importance on discipline, and corporal punishment is widely accepted. Caning is not only used to punish criminals, but also as a disciplinary measure in schools, the military, and in domestic scene. Do not be surprised to find canes sold in grocery stores. They cost about 50 cents and are made of thin rattan with a plastic hook at the end of the handle. They are made for the sole purpose of parental caning. So, you can cane your fucking kids. Chewing gum, and said this is for people, if you come to this country with chewing gum is banned in Singapore, so leave it at home when you pack your bags. The importance of chewing gum into the country, even if it's for trading, is illegal. It says the current regulations does not have provisions for carrying gum on personal use, but it costs you, if they catch you with it, it's $1,000 for first-time offenders. If you're selling chewing gum as a store, they fine you $10,000. Littering, do not litter. I'll tell you that once, they will fucking lock you up. Smoking is prohibited in certain areas in Singapore. Yep.
We got a lot of weird laws in America too, but you just don't enforce them anymore.
Well, this is something not in just Singapore. This is a big one. I wanted to pull up a similar article. Listen to Howard Stern talk about, but homosexual relations. If you do any kind of unnatural sex or sex against nature, they will throw you in prison for at least 2 years.
Yeah.
If you're caught having gay sex.
That's what I say. Look up the laws before you travel, because it could just save your life, which you do on an everyday basis.
Urinating in elevators, not flushing the toilet. If you get caught not flushing a toilet, you will be fined and arrested. Shit. And of course, drugs, and Ralph said this too. Drugs are illegal in Singapore, but the funny part, if you're a tourist, then apparently they can give random drug tests to locals and also visiting foreigners. So some people fucking smoke weed. Weed stays in your system for quite a long time. If you go to Singapore and you're a tourist and they randomly drug test you, if you have drugs in your fucking system, you will be put in jail.
Yes.
Wow. That's some shit.
Trust me, there's a place in China where if you curse at people in a position of authority, you're instantly going to go to jail for saying something as silly as hell or damn. That's against the law. Because I saw on a show where some man traveled, started cursing at the security guards and all that. Boom, arrested.
We have laws like that in America, but like I said, we got a lot of weird laws that we just don't enforce anymore. There are laws in certain states where you can't slurp soup. There are laws in certain states where you can't like chew gum in public.
Wait, you said slurp soup? I got
like look it up. I'm telling you, we don't enforce the law. We have a lot of stupid laws in this country. I promise.
No, I believe I've never heard of that. Like laws of slurping soup. Let me see.
We got a lot of really dumb, mundane laws that just don't make sense. Didn't make sense when it was created. Don't make sense now. A lot of them we just don't enforce anymore because it's dumb.
So I typed it in. It says, okay, is it illegal to slurp soup in New York City? Number 4, it is illegal to slurp your soup.
You're going to jail, Al.
There's a, like, if you think that's bad, I'm telling you, there are a lot.
Shit.
There are a lot of laws that are so. It's just so ridiculous it'll blow your mind. Like,
fucking believe it.
we have really stupid laws. They just aren't enforced anymore
Yeah.
because of how stupid they are.
These 10 crazy laws in New Jersey will have you scratching your head in wonder. Okay, it is illegal to pump your own gas?
Yeah.
Wow.
They have.
They don't enforce it anymore, but believe it or not, they're just.
They are one of the only states.
I'm fucking laughing.
I wouldn't say one of the only states, but they
No,
are prominently known for like
Hold on.
not having
No,
self-service.
here's number 2. It is illegal to wear a bulletproof vest while committing murder. It's like,
Like, if you're killing somebody, we should be able to kill you as well.
No, here you go.
if you wear it's illegal to wear a bulletproof vest while killing somebody.
No, in Arkansas, you can't honk your horn near a sandwich shop after 9 p.m.
Did they say why? Like, what would even cause that
I
law?
don't know.
Okay.
I wish I could get the reasoning for some of the law. Like, some of them you could guess, but some of them are just outlandish. Like,
It's like who did what?
Well,
here to
apparently,
make that
apparently
happen?
it's also illegal to commit murder, but you're gonna get
I
more.
mean, like that's like common knowledge that it's illegal to commit murder.
No.
But listen, did you kill him with or without a bulletproof
No,
vest?
you want to hear? In California, it's illegal to whistle for a lost canary before 7 a.m.
What the fuck?
Yes.
Oh, this New Jersey laws. All
and
right.
you know what's weird? Like, have you ever went anywhere and saw a sign that completely blew your mind?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and it's and the only thing that goes through your head is the only reason this sign is up is because somebody had to have done this. Like, there's been times before where I've seen signs that are just like wild. Like, just like this is.
Well, the fact we have put nowadays, hey guys, these are Tide Pods. Do not eat them.
Or the fact that there are coffee cups out there that say caution, hot beverage.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
so
because of that idiot that sued McDonald's.
So, yeah, no, that was that's fucked. Even 2000. I'm about to Google that one. That was the 90s, right?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
sort of the 90s. It was so stupid.
Okay, so New Jersey, after number 3, it is against the law for a man to knit during fishing season.
No, here you go. In Indiana, it's illegal to ride a horse above 10 miles per hour.
Goddamn horses.
Fucking horses.
Okay, because number 4, it is illegal to slurp your soup. Number 5, it is illegal to delay or detain a homing pigeon. Apparently, okay.
Wait,
Apparently these laws are from fucking the olden days. Like,
Some probably.
somebody was, you know how that soup one came from? Somebody was sitting in a bar somewhere, and somebody was slurping soup and pissing him off. And he was like, "Yo, you know what? I'm putting this one on the book. Next motherfucker I catch slurping soup."
Made the list.
I don't know if I'm too drunk or what, but here we go. In Maine, it's illegal to park in front of Dunkin' Donuts.
What?
Yeah,
Is there a reason?
yes, there is a reason.
Fuck.
You do not even know how much the town of South Berwick, Maine loves its Dunkin' Donuts coffee. This
Holy
law
Christ
was
himself.
enacted because the coffee and donut chain is a hotspot and the parking lot can turn into a mega traffic jam. Talk about a caffeine rush.
This is for
Dumbasses.
the pigeons. That they are working. Homing pigeons are no joke. Mess with one, you could end up in the slammer, or at least hit with a fine. Number 6. It is illegal for a car to pass a horse-drawn carriage. I didn't know that.
I wouldn't even guess that. Like, that's not even.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, they
horse-drawn
do
carriages or
have them for
something.
tourists and stuff. And
Yeah,
like, for that.
like,
Yeah, like if you're
But still,
driving-
like, fuck. Wait, hold on. It is illegal to frown in Bernard's Township. If you're having a bad day, it's probably best not to leave your house.
My ass is going to jail then. I frown almost every day. I have that constant male bitch look on my face.
Pickles are outlawed.
You have RBF.
Pickles are outlawed on Sundays in Trenton. No pickles are allowed in the state capitol on Sundays.
My God.
Okay, cool.
I might as well
What?
keep it in my pants because it's not brined.
It is illegal to boil bones on your property.
What?
So you can't.
Like chicken bones, or does it specify
It
what
just
type of
says
bones?
Bones? You can't any bones.
Just any bones.
Okay.
So like you can't make gravy. You can't make a
not on
like,
Sundays.
broth.
You can't.
No broth,
Not on Sunday.
Like-
It's a high holy day.
Like-
Catch you
you
cooking on
can't-
Sundays, you're going down.
You're going
You
to
can't pull out your cauldron and like summon demons with like.
you're going to jail, Sue.
Shit
You're going
like
to jail.
Cats must warn birds of their whereabouts in Crestkill.
What?
It
Guess you
says
gotta put bells on your cats.
What?
it's more up to the owner than the cat.
Fuck.
The cats must wear bells on their collars at all times.
Hey, bird.
Holy
my cat's
Hey,
coming outside.
you know, at least like Chloe would be safe.
But why you put Jesus Christ?
I guess the
But-
cats are probably out there hunting the birds to a fucking extinction or something. I have no idea.
But like I was saying, but at least
Probably.
but these are dumb laws. But like no one's, I don't see no one going to jail. Versus Singapore, they're actually locking them up. They're caning
Right,
people.
Singapore is,
See
they,
what
they,
weird
they enforce their
laws-
laws.
See
Like-
what weird laws there are for New York State.
Number one,
Christ,
you
that's-
can't have a neighbor named Herbert. I'm gonna slap you in the penis.
He does that voice way too weird.
I wish I could do that voice.
I want to buy a vehicle that goes da 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 da
It goes.
da da da.
All right.
He does that. It's
He does this shit so
like,
flawlessly.
why are you so good at? Why are you so good at sounding like a pedophile, Elliot? Like,
I got a great one. I don't mean to sound mean to you, Sue, but you're 16 and I don't need you.
All right. Begin, Chris.
11 of the strangest laws in New York City and New York State. Oh Christ, here we go, guys. I've been in state my entire life, but okay.
Yep.
What? Really? Oh, give me a second. Like, fuck. Who wrote this shit? Like,
Want me to do it in my beautiful Herbert voice?
this one you might actually hear. Like,
You can't swallow Tylenol PM after 10 a.m.
look at this one. I can't make this up. This is number 11. Look at that shit.
Wow.
Do the Herbert voice.
It is illegal in New York State to transport an ice cream cone in one's pocket on a Saturday.
You can't put an ice cream cone in your pocket on Sundays.
Saturdays.
No, this is Sunday.
No, Sundays,
You were too drunk.
And you know somebody actually did that. Somebody was like, go get me an ice cream. And then he came back with the ice cream in his pocket. He's like, you fucking moron.
The origin behind this law is still murky, but certainly worth mentioning. Once upon a time, someone reportedly strolled through Manhattan with an ice cream cone in his pocket, causing untold mischief. What kind of mischief is not clearly stated. And trust us, we've combed through the web to find the answer. But the act was apparently enough to enact regulation. Holy Christ.
Number 10.
Where's the rest? Oh, there- okay. Wait, here? Oh shit! So it is illegal to wear a mask in public.
You know that law is being violated hardcore on a daily basis all throughout the states right now. Like,
Yeah, it is illegal to congregate in a group of 2 or more in any public place.
Wow, each is
while
wearing a
each
mask.
wearing a mask that disguise
Oh,
identity.
fucking A. Woo! The New York penal law prohibits 2 or more people from wearing masks or any face covering while in a public place. At the time, this existed since 1845. It says it was lowering wheat prices. At the time, tenant farmers would cover their faces with masks and dress up as Indians to attack the police. Fucking white people. White people, Jesus Christ, man.
They are the downfall of
I mean,
themselves.
but think too. All right, hold up. If someone who's fucking white wears a mask, still there's a certain texture, like the skin color. You know, they're Indians. No, fuck they weren't, you assholes. What's number 8?
Jesus.
In Sag Harbor, New York, it is illegal to disrobe in your car. I've never done that, but okay. In order to maintain peace and good order, as listed under Chapter 121 of the Village of North Haven, Suffolk County, it is legal for any person to disrobe in the public or Suffolk, in any automobile on the streets. Wow.
Automobile? Or automobile?
Yeah, so don't get into your truck and start disrobing, apparently. Number 8. In Beacon, New York, it is illegal to own or operate a pinball machine.
What the fuck?
What?
Pinball.
that was wild.
Okay, it's illegal. It's illegal to operate such a machine 60 miles north of Beacon, New York. Arcades are also banned, even if the vintage kind from the 50s and 60s. And unlawful citizens may be subjected to jail time or a fine of $1,000 per day for breaking the rule. Wow. This isn't only.
I want a pinball machine.
This isn't the only city to adopt this. The game was prohibited in the early 40s and 70s in many big cities, including LA, Chicago, and New York. But okay, this is obvious, but still, you can't go topless in public. So, which is still
that has to be stated.
But it's funny, but actually, this is only for women though. Men can go topless in public. Women can't.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I have two very large reasons as to why I wouldn't.
I'm not disagreeing. Large or extra large?
Number 6. It is illegal in New York City to use a cell phone in indoor theaters. Wow. I mean, okay.
I mean, it makes
Is that
sense.
a recently? That's a recent. That has to be with cell phones. If it's cell phones are in
This
there.
was passed in 2003.
Yeah.
It was proposed by. This is not. This
it would
is
make sense,
theaters.
though,
Yeah.
to like make that a law, because how many people are stupid enough to answer it,
Yeah.
get into an argument
Hold
with
up.
someone?
Considering,
It is illegal in New York to keep more than $10 you find in the street.
I am
New
a
York
criminal.
State.
I am a bona fide, certified criminal.
Holy Christ!
I have found $20. I have found $40. I have found a $50 bill several times.
I'm about to
I got lucky with a $100 bill once, and you know what I did with it? I spent it.
Yeah, if I'm fucking walking, you see a wallet with 10 grand in cash.
I'm definitely guilty. I've done that more.
Al,
than
you
once.
fucking criminal, you.
I'm a criminal.
If someone
Oh, me
drops
third
a $100 bill on the ground, you bet your ass I'm picking it up.
Listen, I can say this out of, like, with all honesty. If I see the person drop the money, I'll probably take it up and give it back to him. But if I'm walking down the street and I come across the money and it's just there, I'm spending that.
Be honest, this is
thing is
COVID season. I might just take it out of your fucking pocket my damn self. Don't get your hopes up of the off chance you'll find some money on the streets. Turns out you're legally required to deposit the cash at a police station, because I'm sure they're gonna give it back to because the cops are known for that, right? Within 10 days of finding $10 or more. Wow. And offenders can receive jail time for up to a year or a lofty fine of $1,000.
Yeah, you know what? No one follows that law.
Not even cops.
No.
Pretty sure cops are like, oh shit, $100? We'll spend this later.
Yeah. You're a fucking cop on the beat making fucking 45, 50K a year, and you fucking get a suitcase. Like, come on, it's like, how many fucking cops have done fucking drug busts? You do a fucking drug bust, guy opens a fucking safe, you see $3 million in that safe, and like, so reportedly the guy had $1 million in his safe. it's like
I was like, this guy had $50,000 in his safe. Like, all of a sudden, fucking the entire force is going on vacation.
Yeah. Side story. Remember, like years ago when Dad when we were doing our fucking runs, we kept them on local newspapers and local news stories, and yeah, this guy there was a fucking drug bust, and this guy and they fucking confiscated, raided his house, had X amount of fucking pounds of weed, X amount of kilos of fucking coke, and they said they recovered whatever $100,000 in his safe, and Dad's laughing his ass off. Was what? He goes, yeah, they said they recorded. They had $100,000 in his safe. Dad's like, I know that fucking guy. I'll tell you right now, there was no $100,000 in his fucking safe. It's like, yeah.
New York is
There's
the worst.
more than 100.
Yeah, there's $100,000 in his safe right on my ass. Like, shit. I was talking to Joe last week. Yeah. And Joe's got $100,000. Oh boy, let's see. It is illegal in New York City to have a puppet show in your window.
Really?
Wow.
Huh.
According to 2008 New York Times article, puppets are also on the blacklist for law enforcers. Despite the city's penance for theater, it's illegal for a person to stage puppet performances, ballets, or dances from any window or open space or building. Okay. This one's funny. Someone had to, someone had to actually write this as a fucking law. That's how stupid.
Because somebody did it.
Because
Because that it happened, and somebody was like, yep.
It is illegal to fly a parachute over New York City. Oh.
You know, that I could probably get.
But what about the balloon issue they had when they released over 1 million balloons in New York City.
Let's see. Dancing in New York City, dancing in cabarets and public halls are prohibited without a license.
Cabaret.
Wow. Okay.
I love cabarets.
And this is number one. Well, I did know this. A barber in New York City can earn a $5 fine and a misdemeanor charge for giving haircuts on Sunday.
Wow.
You are not allowed to give haircuts on Sundays in New York City.
Sunday's not that special.
I know for a fact that there are fucking thousands of barbers violating that rule.
I'm gonna put some ice cream in my pocket.
You know what I said though? Growing up as a kid,
hair.
that was always a cliche. Like you couldn't get a haircut on Sunday. I mean, like when I was growing up as a kid in the 90s and 2000s, you can never get a barbershop on Sundays. Like we can never. It's like that seems like it's. I never understood why, but in New York City, it's an actual.
Yeah,
shit.
when I was younger, they were always closed on Sundays.
That's what I'm saying.
Other
Like,
states.
so, let's see.
Do Vermont.
Vermont. Let's see. Haircuts.
I don't know.
Haircut on Sunday.
And then do New Hampshire.
Uh-oh.
Geez, so.
That seems oddly specific.
Yeah, this is talking about 2020 coronavirus, so I'll have to do some more research into fucking loaded. Oh.
Cover your mouth so you don't get the COVID.
I always seen a peek of this by, so I'm drunk enough to make this shit funny as hell.
I'm pretty up there. I had to piss twice in 2 hours, so I'm up there.
So this man...
Empty my man bowels.
There he goes.
Give me a second.
Alright, hold on.
Uh-oh, she needs a second, which is past.
Well, I'll pull this story out then for the comical one, because that's what in that for tonight. But I'll pull this article up because catching him on Howard talked about this on his show, and it hit him pretty deep because there was this woman that she was Egyptian, and apparently what happened is she moved to Canada and she wound up killing herself. But this was a big article because it was in the New York Times, and it came out June 15th of 2020. But she was a lesbian woman who was in Egypt, and what happened is that, you know, like Egypt still has their own fucking views about homosexuality and shit. She was at a music concert and she was with her friends and she put up a, you know, the gay pride flag, you know, the homosexual flag. After the concert, they arrested her because she posted on social media, and her Instagram and Twitter account, she posted herself at the concert wearing the gay flag. And yeah,
in Egypt or Canada?
In Egypt. No, she moved to Canada later, but in Egypt she was arrested. So
yeah.
Let's see. A storm of public outrage over the rainbow flags erupted on social media and was whipped up by the Egypt's thunderous TV talk show hosts. Police raids followed. Dozens of people were arrested, including her. The start of a desperate trajectory marked with violence, despair, and exile. Now, she was saying that what happened is that she was 30 years old, but she killed herself when she was in Canada. But she just said that to the world, you've been greatly cruel, but I forgive you. The reason she did this for because when she was inside jail for a good month, she was saying that the jail guards would tell other female inmates to molest her and beat her, and she was beaten fucking repeatedly for a good couple months and shit. So, and it's just like it says right here, although homosexuality is not technically illegal in Egypt, gay people are subjected to deep-rooted social prejudices and are frequently prosecuted by the police under laws that criminalize debauchery. Yeah. Undercover police investigators use aliases to roam popular dating apps to entrap and arrest gay men. Damn. Yeah. Others are arrested from cafes or the streets on the basis of their appearance. Wow. Concerts are also a focus of law enforcement. So even before she attended the event by the Lebanese band, I can't say the name, her life had undergone dramatic shifts. She had shed the head covering veil that she had once worn and begun to embrace her identity as a gay woman. So, and it's just, but yeah, so that's just like, you know, it sucks that was after she spent X amount of time in jail where she was fucking molested and fucking beaten and shit. Then she finally got to Canada, and See, dozens were convicted and sentenced to 1 to 6 years in jail. 75 people were arrested at the concert because they had different gay stuff, like gay flags and gay paraphernalia and shit like that. So,
like I said, think of this. To my knowledge, I could be wrong because things change overnight in the world.
yeah.
There are at least 13 countries where if you are openly homosexual,
Yeah.
you can be killed in the street and no one's going to bat an eye.
I can look it up, but she spent 3 months. 3 months, she got out, she was granted bail. She got plunged into depression. She was fired from her job, and she was rejected by her family members. Months later, fearing she might be detained again, she fled to Canada, and she was granted political asylum. And she was a law student. She studied law under there, and just, I guess, her family abandoning her friends and what she went through them 3 months of being constantly molested and beaten in jail, she just fucking decided to kill herself.
Yeah,
It's
and
like,
that happens. People have demons.
I'm just bringing it up because this happens all too often, but because Howard mentioned it, and Howard just said, it's like, again, with America, it's like, we have, damn sure got our fucking problems, but like, it's just, we just read shit like this, so like, no one's ever, at least to my knowledge, been to a popular concert by any kind of band or pop star, and like, they arrested 80 fucking people for having some, gay flags and shit, like,
Man, I survived my own demons. Let me tell you, when some people laugh when you say your own worst enemy is yourself. No, that is the truth. You can ignore other people's words, but the shit inside of your head and all that is like 10 times worse. I've survived. I've survived stabbing myself and all that shit. And let me tell you, those voices that tell you you're worth nothing are absolute worst because you'll feel nothing.
So I can finish up the night with this, hoping it makes everybody fucking laugh. So,
if not, I'll slap you in the penis.
So,
that's me going to jail. You hear those sirens in the background?
This happened. This happened in Las Vegas. They're trying to find him, but a man stole. Just to say it out loud, it's going to be hard to say, but a man stole a 3-foot tall, 40-pound dildo.
What?
It says maybe he was too hard up to afford it. A hardened crook pulled off a cockamamie crime
Cockamamie for real.
by swiping a giant dildo from a Las Vegas sex shop. The masked man was captured on video as he strode into the Deja Vu boutique in Sin City on July 14th and grabbed a massive 3-foot, 40-pound member standing on the sales floor. He got it up over his right shoulder and nonchalantly left the premises, crammed the dildo into his vehicle, and drove off.
He was later found in his own bathroom, dildo partially in his rectum, screaming for help.
It says, this landmark item is in our store and is worth nearly $2,000. So if you happen to see a 3-foot penis sitting around, please turn in the 6-foot tall dick who stole it.
So they didn't catch the guy?
No, because he was wearing a mask.
So he just walked in, took the shit, and
Wait.
left out?
Like, a mask is going to stop a dildo that big. You gotta be shitting me.
We can only hope that the thief finds Jesus and returns the item. Or the law finds him and throws him in prison where he belongs.
He found something.
They're pissed off.
Right?
So, they actually named the dildo. It was pretty famous. The dildo's name was Moby Dick.
Well, he found Jesus in some source by, what's his name? Ahab by chance?
It's a steal on Amazon, where it's listed as $586 as the world's largest retail dildo. There may even be a soul out there brave or talented enough to use Moby as the traditional dildo listings.
That's kind of disturbing.
So he walked in with the fucking mask, grabbed a 40-pound dildo, put it over his shoulder, and ran out of the fucking shop with it, threw it into his car, and drove.
Dear Lord.
You know, obviously they made that because somebody needed it. I don't know what's more disturbing, the man stealing it or they made it because there was somebody who needed
I just want to know if Elliot, next time you
big.
walk into this house, you look over into my bedroom, you see a 3-foot dick.
I'm fucking walking
what's gonna
out.
be your...
I'm fucking walking out. I'm gonna just text Sue like, I saw this in the corner. Fuck this shit, I'm out.
You know what's weird about it is what's going on in his head where he's like, I need this 3 foot long dildo.
40 pounds.
Like, no matter what happens today, I am getting this dildo. I'm taking this dildo. I'm going home. I dare somebody to stop me. like what is
going home.
Like, what is going on in his head?
He was probably wondering, him and that dildo were going to be the best of friends.
Oh, fuck.
Clearly.
I mean,
My dildo.
I'm just worried about, like, you know, Christians come. I become Christian, Dad. Yeah, well, what's that? Like, well, son, there's a.
When a man can't give a woman what she needs, she goes to a store where she gets these special tools, and a man cries softly at night because he wasn't worth shit.
So hopefully Jen will be here on
Wasn't worthy.
Hopefully Tuesday Jen will be here. She'll be out for quarantine. And Jen's like, you know what? That 3 foot dildo. I wonder.
Well, I'll chip in. How does that sound for a birthday present? A late birthday present.
You know, I got it from you. I just got it from you, Albert, the Daily News. Yeah. Florida man. Why is it always fucking Florida for us? Jesus Christ,
Florida.
man. Like,
Florida man challenge.
Florida man tricked in. The Florida man challenge is tricking a woman to get an abortion. Like,
sounds about right.
so, yeah.
Where the hell's Junior?
Probably
probably
having
sleeping.
people put Rogaine on his head.
See him last week. Where are you? He's like, I fell asleep. I was like, it's your fucking day off. You slept all day, you freaking slug. Like,
Because he was up so late.
I can't even say
playing
anything. I know how that feels when you lay around all day. That was me yesterday. Yesterday, dude, I was on my bed at several times. I was like, yo, I need to get up.
well, somebody has our Facebook that we're trying to talk to him about redoing our Facebook profile. We can't with it because he's one created this shit, and like we can't post on it. Like,
Yeah, I know. I constantly see multiple people seeing this. I comment, I'm like, you know,
Yeah.
maybe someone's going to like my shit.
well, like every day it says like my phone pops up like Blue Collar Losers has another view. But no one's viewing. They're viewing it, but they're not like Al's like. It seems like it's a dead website someone made 2 months ago because no one we can't post on it. So it's like people are looking at it, but you figure if you want to get new fans, if you look at some website or a podcast and no one's posted on in almost fucking 3 months, you're not gonna pay attention to
Just
it.
ignore
Like,
it.
It might,
and I'm waiting for him to show up. Like,
it might need a click that it doesn't need approval from somebody higher
That's
up.
the point. We have to redo the
post
entire
all this
thing.
stuff.
Even if that's the case, we still need to go into it and turn that off.
Yeah.
yeah, because it's a point. Because none of us here can post. No one can post like anything out. The whole thing is fucking locked, and like he created it. It's
Yeah,
like, he's supposed
then
to be here.
that
Like,
would mean that he is the only one who has the power then because
Yeah.
he created it. I'm not good at stuff like this. I just post random
But
stuff
we have
like,
to learn. But yeah, but
hey, this is just mindless violence. It's not political. It's not, look at this. It's just mindless anime violence because that's the kind
well,
of
because
man
this
I
problem
am.
we're having. Like, I listened to Ralph today. Ralph mentioned like so I'm about to look up right now some TikTok star because this is TikTok for you.
Fuck
but,
TikTok.
But now apparently it's a new TikTok girl is starting a podcast, and she has like 52 million followers on TikTok, and she's starting a podcast. Now, apparently, her videos, I'm looked them up because Al's giving me TikTok. I think it's funny and entertaining, informative. But her videos are her lip syncing other songs for like 50 seconds or whatever.
That's what
but the fact
TikTok
that,
is.
but she's got 52 fucking million fans. That when she starts a fucking podcast, it's hard for us to compete with someone like that who's just like.
But the thing is, we're not fakes. Somebody who lip syncs to get famous. I think I saw a YouTuber make a story about how crazy TikTok is, especially with pedophiles. And he said that they use TikTok because you can literally get randomly grouped up with random people. And then I saw a meme today. It's like, well, Bill Clinton, TikTok might be canceled thanks to Trump. So if you want to see underage girls dancing, you might want to get on a plane with Bill Clinton. And I was in tears laughing, like, ha, ha, ha. It's fucking great.
TikTok star Addison Rae is launching a podcast on Spotify.
Yeah, Addison Rae. She's who everybody talks about on TikTok right now.
She's 19 years old, and so yeah. She's going to do a weekly podcast with her sister Dixie, a partnership with production company Ramble. She's another influencer.
Yeah, what do you influence by fake lip sync and someone else's stuff?
Well,
they're going to hear your voice and hear how hollow you are as an individual when you're not stealing
that's the whole
someone
premise
else's
though with
stuff.
social media is for all of us. Like we have Twitch going, and we want to get. But right now, Facebook is the biggest platform on the fucking planet, and for us to get any kind of more listeners, we need to get a Facebook legitimate thing going, and it's kind of hard when the dude doing this not fucking here.
Yeah.
What's weird about getting followers? This is what's weird. This is the loop that people get stuck into. Whenever somebody becomes popular and other people see them popular, they're like, oh, I want to be on her list too because everybody else is there. Exactly. And that just garners more followers, and that's how it goes. It just keeps going. Yep. People are like, who's the most popular person? I want to be on their list, and just go follow this person. It's wild.
We can only be us, and I never want to be someone I'm not. I feel like I'm the weird one at times. Like, yeah, I listen to metal, and I'm just like, my God, these people. She likes Christina Aguilera, and I know metal singers that would like bite Christina Aguilera's head off in a battle of music, and it's like, wait, that doesn't sound right. What the fuck is wrong with me?
Yeah. What's still like saying for art, but this whole podcast, I never expect to get a million listeners, but if we one day got like 10,000 people listen to this shit, cool. But that's only going to happen is by we have to offer our brand name out to more people and more social media outlets, and this is what TikTok chicks like her. She automatically has a massive jump start against us because she has 52 million fucking followers. Like, so we need to get shit out there.
Clearly, we had the wrong person create the Facebook page.
Well, I didn't know he was going to do it until he told me afterwards. No, like me and Al want to get on this shit because at least we're on our phones more often. So.
But I can only say that I hope no woman sends me a Facebook message like, I want your baby, you sound cool. Like, you got the wrong person. My name is Elliot, not Chris or Al or Junior. Get the fuck out of here.
Chris isn't gonna get it because he's apparently the most hated.
I know. I don't know why.
According to Junior
would be because he's like, fucking inconvenient. Let me tell you, I was at work and it's fat fuck.
There's gonna be a massive movement against like fat people against Junior. Like they're gonna start a group page like fat people against Junior. Like,
and they're gonna misspell his name on purpose and put it J-E-R.
Yeah.
If Padge inconvenient fat people against Junior. If Padge, I'm telling you right now, I created this shit for you. You're welcome. Now give me money.
And George being saying at Gen level where it's like, Chris, I'm tired. I'm like, I know you're tired. What time did you go to work today? I worked 11 to 7. Oh, okay. I'm up since fucking 5 a.m. I go home 8 o'clock at night, but I'm sure, buddy, you're more drained than I am.
I was playing Phantasy Star Online 2 while Molly rubbed Rogaine on my scalp because more hair came out when I brushed it. Come on!
He said for the past 3 weeks, oh, she's coming next week. And next week happens, me and Al, like, where's she at? She's coming next week. We're still waiting for her.
I still haven't met this girl.
I know.
Special shout out to Molly for being awesome.
If she hears this.
If you're real, I need to meet you. I need to feel your pulse. My name is Elliot. How you doing? So, my hair is real. I don't need Rogaine.
Al did send me
you guys are scaring her away. That's the reason she doesn't want to come back.
Probably.
She listens to our podcast and like, nope, not going back to
that. Just have Susan wear gloves. Susan can rub her down.
I'd pay money to watch that. I'd buy that for $1.
As soon as if you pat her down, look away. Al may be staring at you, kind of funny, but like
I wouldn't look away. Anything that happened was strictly voluntary.
Molly, please come.
To be fair,
I'm tired of being the only girl here.
Listen to the last podcast when Junior did offer to like help you with the OnlyFans thing. It's like it's Junior. It's not like it's any kind of a sexual being or something.
Yeah, it's true.
It's like it's like a plant.
It's like a lamp offering.
I can't stop thinking about a near toothless velociraptor now.
That was a match in heaven.
I watched Jurassic Park and I'm like, what would this velociraptor look like with very few teeth in its mouth?
Yeah, Al did some of the fuck article. It says Florida man who tricked girlfriend into taking an abortion pill sentenced to nearly 14 years in prison.
Jesus,
what a fucked up system. So
that was crazy.
But that's why I keep saying, hey guys, we look at our legal system, Al. It's like it doesn't matter the color of your fucking skin, how much money you got. Everybody's fucked.
Yeah,
they really are, because all these situations is fucking some rich white dude or Tracy Morgan. It's just like Tracy Morgan getting fucked by his. Holy shit, man! Like we're just.
You need to figure out where you think you will pretty much prosper best in this world.
That's why I've said this, and since I've been out of jail for fucking 10 years now, but like before and after, I've said 100,000 fucking times, I can never guarantee in this lifetime I won't ever. Some guys say I'm out of fucking prison, I'll never go back. I'm like, you know what? Every day I wake up, it's why I've never one time complained about oh, my life is horrible. Oh, things are fucking bad out there. Oh, blah, blah, blah. No, because I can never... Every day I'm not in jail, I'm thank fucking God, because like you see shit like this and you're like, fuck, man. Like, they just lock people up for the most mundane. And like you said, Elliot, I'm to the point now, even fucking before COVID and the rioting and shit, like, I go to work, I'm home. And I'm just fucking popped in front of Netflix, watching the Umbrella Academy. I'm playing PlayStation. I'm scared to fucking go anywhere anymore.
I really am. Like, I don't want to meet new females. I don't want to make new friends because people... It's not that I'm afraid of people. It's that lies seemingly have more weight than truth.
And people are afraid of him.
No, people aren't really afraid of me. They see the tattoos and they probably think I just got out of jail.
But you know what's scary is like this is just we talked about this a million times with the whole Johnny Depp and Amber Heard thing. But just think from as a premise of like marrying a woman, the fact that they've had to go back, they've had to fucking pull up video footage and text message. Like who marries a person and has to keep like old text messages, old fucking video footage, have like your bodyguards, your hairstyles, and this whole entire fucking process. Like that's not the point of getting married. Or being with somebody, it's like you have to keep like.
You know what though? That's what relationships are now. Like
it's just
like in the well, like within the last decade or so. If you've been in a relationship, you understand that. Like in relationships, people are just keeping tabs on each other. That's all it is. And at any given point in time, they're like, "Oh, remember when you said this? Remember when you did this?
Yeah.
Remember when this happened?"
And then grab their fucking phone and poke on their phone and
like, remember when you texted me this? Like that's what people are doing. It's like, what was the point of us even?
And women have the advantage, like Sue, because like I said, I was like, even when I was fucking getting married, Chris, remember 2 months ago you texted this one message? I don't remember what I texted you 5 fucking minutes ago. Like, it's like that one text message 3 months ago. You saved it? She was, yeah, it's right here on my fucking phone. You saved a text message from 3 fucking months ago? I'm like, holy shit. Like,
all girls do that.
Well,
like, every girl that you know in your life right now, every message you sent to them in the life of their phone is still in their phone.
Now it's just all insults, but...
Oh, God.
Yeah, mine is literally all panda. All panda, all day.
And Jen's fat and annoying, so...
I'm kind of worried.
Thank God you don't text Kaya. It would just be, hey, grumpy cat, get down here.
Meanwhile, my phone is on the loop to delete everything every 24 hours.
Exactly.
I can't blame you on that one.
That's all men. Like literally, I had this conversation one day with a male friend where I, like, literally sent him a message, and he's like, he didn't have my phone number saved because it was a new phone, and he's like, wait, who's this? And I'm like, it's Susan. And he's like, oh, yeah. He's like, nothing got transferred over when I got my new phone in the first place. Okay. He's like, so none of my numbers, because it wasn't an iPhone. It wasn't like he was on the cloud or anything.
Yeah.
Or anything along those lines. And then I was like, well, you could have just known because of the fact that we're on Messenger together.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, yeah, I delete all of my Messenger.
Yeah. Better him than me.
Dudes don't keep that shit. Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure there are dudes who do.
Well, nowadays you have to keep it.
Evidence. It's in your best interest now to store shit, apparently.
Yeah. Normally I'd be like, who the fuck is this and why are you messaging me? Like, oh, this is it. Like, oh, sorry. But when you don't say your name when you text me, that's my normal reaction. Who the fuck is this? What the fuck do you want? Normal reaction.
There's not a picture of you by the freaking name and phone number and shit. I'm not gonna know who the fuck you are.
Yeah. So wrapping shit up, so eventually Facebook, we will get this updated and up to snuff once the asshole doing it gets here. I talk to him, like, the point one was for him to sit down, because, obviously Sue and Elliot aren't on social media as much as me and Alan. I'm not on it too much, but, like, I want to promote this. So it's like, this is why I'm getting hold of this guy, Jim Tuesday, because I've looked into the YouTube thing, and the YouTube is basically going to promote more of our fucking podcast. And like I said, it's not like none of us, we don't need 1 million followers, but if we get 10,000 people, cool. Why not,
To be fair, I'm on I have Messenger on my phone. If people message me, I send a message back. Normally, it's just hey, do you know this is going on in the podcast? No, like I said, I think the last person I talked to was Sue. Was like, hey, we're gonna talk around, sit around, talk about ideas and stuff.
No, it's to the point that all of us were making each other laugh. Carlton, let's say Carlton's just one person. He laughs about this, and whether you have a friend, Junior has a friend, we still will get more people to laugh about this shit. But like, we can't fucking promote it if we have the future is going to be social media, and like we have to get a presence on there.
I have people across 3,000 miles away who listen to this. I just keep asking them. Like, I play Pathfinder with them, and I play because I'm such a racist. I play a dark elf because I'm racist.
It's still for me the
But
point
they
that,
love
you know,
it.
in fact, like, hey, if any of us get a couple bucks by this shit, cool. But like, if I ever have one person say, hey, Chris, you guys, you make my morning or my weekends, you make me laugh my ass off, that makes, hey, that's, you can't put a fucking price tag on this shit.
Send me some brown panties. I'm easy. Hey, I'm not going to say I'm holier than thou. I'm a pervert. I don't care.
We all are.
Hey,
All four of us are.
Sue's looking at me like, fuck this asshole. Hi, Sue. I got that camera and those cookies ready.
Your cousin Jen could be here if she wasn't dying of COVID, which she doesn't have.
I know. I was like, are you feeling okay? Well, they told me, the CDC texted me, told me to stay quarantined. I'm like, well, be safe, Jen. Be safe. And all I'm thinking of is, I missed that bathing suit you're wearing.
Why would the CDC contact Jen for? She's not important.
Well, just be safe.
Here's the thing, though. Not to be an asshole, and Jen, I know if you're listening, like, fuck you, I've caught you.
Yep.
Here. So, have any of you seen Jen's Facebook page?
Yes.
Recently?
She's on my friends list.
I tried to avoid it.
Everything.
Yeah, so, you know she's been kayaking, tubing,
going to bars. Yeah, I know.
Doing things. So, if she's doing all of this, how exactly is she, like, supposed to be self-quarantining herself in her house?
Wait, let me look through my messages, because I sent her something real
So our next recording
funny.
will be Tuesday, which is basically my birthday celebration. I want to bring Jen down to, like, hey, everyone's going to have some drinks, some barbecue, but then the problem with Jen is, like, it won't be a special occasion for her, because her getting fucking drunk is on a 8-day-a-week basis, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I told her, you have some calls to make, warn people they may have COVID.
But ahead of time, I'm going to ask Al and everybody here, like, you know, I'm going to go out and, like, it's going to be, like, hey, whichever one want to fuck eat, we're going to have a big-ass feast, get as fucked up as we can. Al's going to drive back home, but, like, as much as he can.
Come
and
on,
Jen.
Just
do a funny-ass podcast. No, she'll be here, because it's free food and alcohol. Jen will be here.
Yeah. I just got to stay more than 6 feet away, because COVID.
Well, it's like I was saying, you know what, then? If my job says you have to come in tomorrow, you know what, guys? Good luck with that one, because I'm going to be so fucking loaded. I'll be able to walk straight Wednesday morning, so. And maybe Junior will be here, but yeah. Hopefully.
With Rogaine still on his scalp.
Your birthday, too.
Well, like I was saying, they're trying to pull some bullshit where they're trying to possibly deny me my day off now, but.
You know, even though it's your birthday.
They don't give a fuck.
Better see you, Jen. If not.
Yeah.
Gonna be upset and I'm gonna laugh.
Tuesday morning I'm trying to get this YouTube presence going, and definitely wants it, like Carlton was saying, we'll get Carlton here because there is a way to get his Zoom going because Carlton wants to be more part of this, but like it just takes all this stuff is not hard, it just takes time and knowledge that none of us have. We have to learn this shit.
Yeah, and if you can't put a message on the Facebook for whatever reason, I'm pretty sure some of you have access to our instant messenger account. Send us a message. Let us know if something's wrong. We will be more than happy to try to help you.
If you are friends with
Don't
any
be
of
afraid.
us, please contact us.
Yeah.
Yeah, put that out there. Like, because what frustrates me is that all four people here, and when Carlton or Junior, there's a lot of funny shit we say and do. And like, I've listened to podcasts, and like, I legit don't say this as being somebody who listens to his own fucking voice, but like, Elliot's seen this. There's been times I'm driving and like I laugh my fucking ass off by something Elliot said or Al said or like Carlton said. We have some really funny shit going on. There's people out there like, say, this girl on fucking TikTok, she lip syncs to other people's fucking music. You've got no personality. You know, it's like there's a lot less people out there who are doing free podcasts. They're not that talented. We got some good shit going.
I know I'm hysterical, so I know I make me look bad.
Can I lip sync to Goodbye Horses like in Silence of the Lambs? Like, would you fuck me? I'd fuck me. I'd fuck me hard.
Just do a whole podcast with Herbert. There you go.
Well, I just say random shit because somebody out there needs a random good laugh because some bullshit happened in their day. Either their partner or family member, friend or coworker yelled at them and they just need something that their brain can't comprehend, so it stops all the bullshit and stress. And they're like, wait, did they just say that? Yes, I just said that. Yeah. And have a good laugh on me. You're welcome.
So, cool. 2:53, so say goodbyes. I'm out of news stories, but we had fun. It's amazing how fast these 3 hours keep going by quicker and quicker.
I know.
I thought maybe we'd get to, honestly, I thought maybe with my news stories, we'd get an hour and a half done, but Al kept, like, expanding on shit, and Sue was, it's like, You plan on an hour and a half,
Sure,
maybe?
blame me for it.
Yeah, but like, no, but it's like I said, we kept expanding on like those news stories because these are blue collar issues. These are fucked up issues where guys are just getting these bullshit charges, and like we can't change it. But like, if this happened to anybody in this fucking room, I would spend my mission hopping on every fucking outlet of social media saying, "Hey, listen, Al or Elliot were falsely accused of this shit. They shouldn't be getting 10 years over a situation that they shouldn't have got. It's bullshit."
Let me tell you, I may not 100% agree with everything people say. Everybody has a right to their own opinion. But if somebody went after the, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 6 other people I do a podcast with over some bullshit, I'm going to believe the people that I've done a podcast with for the past 3 months or actually talked to for years over this shit. So, call me biased, call me a bigot, whatever,
I'll
but
do it.
you know what? I'll wear that like a badge of fucking courage.
I mean, the only situation is like if mysteriously like there was a guy at Best Buy someone got murdered by an employee, by a fat guy.
Fat man strangler. That's Junior.
I mean, there's only so much I can defend.
You remember that episode of Family Guy where fucking what's her name's brothers were started killing
Yep.
all the fat people?
A fat guy strangler. That's Junior.
Mysteriously
right
in Albany, fat guys keep randomly dropping dead. I'm like, well, where was he? Like, he wasn't at my house. And Chris, I was at your house last night. Like, no, you weren't. Like,
wait, were they fat guys or inconvenient fat guys? They were inconvenient.
No,
do you know anything
no.
about this? Hands
no,
up.
he's
like,
gonna start with
talking.
he's gonna start with inconvenient. Eventually, his bloodlust will go to just pure fat people. So, like,
Then I'll just go to inconvenient people in general.
Mark Biggs, I'm calling you out. He's coming for you.
fuck. All right. Anything you got, Sue?
Um,
I'm good.
Peace out, bitches. That's about it.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
You know my spiel.
This shit I'm out.
Protect your neighborhoods and your
Yeah.
neighbors. Donate to the people that could help you. Help out the schools, firehouses, police stations, hospitals, libraries. Do the damn thing. Do right by the people around you and do right by the people that matter.
Yep.
Yeah.
Be safe and don't take anything personal. Don't be a Karen and don't be a fucking snowflake.
God, Karen. But it must be.
I'll slap you with his penis.
I'm gonna slap you in the penis.
That is creepily accurate.
Da, 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 da.
That's my favorite.
Watches way too much Herbert.
I wish I could do that shit. I would spend the entire day doing it. Like,
I might literally do one podcast where that's all I do.
Yeah. So definitely Tuesday is going to be a lot of fun because we're all going to be fat and drunk and full
We're
of food.
already fat.
Well, no, trust me. I'm going to make sure. Like, I'm going to text Al ahead of time. Al, like, if there's a specific meal he wants, or there's going to be like that backyard's going to be a fucking buffet. So.
I'll fat man starve myself, which means I won't eat for at least 3 hours.
And we won't be fucking drinking the stag neither.
No.
Yeah. I'll pull all my alcohol out of the fridge.
No, I'm gonna tell you and Jim. We have for your birthday. We need some Jack and Coke down here. We need some real. It's time for my birthday liquor.
Yes.
So
Sue's gonna
Heineken Light.
pull it out.
if you want, I'll get it. So, but that's. I mean, yeah, it's COVID. The only thing I can do for my birthday is celebrate, have do a podcast with our friends, and like as each hour passed by, we get more drunk and stupid, and just have a good time because that's all we can do. So. Well, as always, guys, I would just say, like, I want to make people laugh and have a good time, and I'm not here to beg for nobody's money. I don't need nobody's money. None of us do. We're all paying our bills during Corona, and pretty much we're doing this shit for fun. That's it. And like, I'm not a fan of like TikTok people having 60 million freaking followers and shit. So, but we're trying to get a social media presence going, and like just said, like,
Junior.
Like Big Al was saying, take care of people that matter. And like this whole stimulus package is getting worse and worse. It's up in the air what's going on, and more people on a daily basis. I'm reading about more businesses shutting down and more people getting desperate, and it's going to keep getting worse. So it's like I'm glad that all four of us have income and we're doing good, and we have a roof over our heads and food in our bellies. And
damn straight.
that's what I said. Right now, our capitalism's Tracy Morgan's wife is divorcing him for $50 million. Like there's people starving out there, and you need $50 million. Like
I'm fat. I'd be happy with $1,000 a month.
Stop making 18-year-old girls on TikTok. Random millionaire stars when you said you got people in your local community who can't give their kids freaking ramen noodles. So start spending your money on people who deserve it, and we don't deserve it. We don't need it. We're good. Just give us a like or something. That's all I want. I don't need your money to pay my mortgage. So, all right, have a good night.